Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. All right, it is currently 8:02 a.m. I did capture video for purposes of documentation as well, documenting what is the maintenance of the environment the entity is engaging in P.O.C. And the aspect of that P.O.C. is obstruction of justice, and it includes theft of property, which I have already documented, and showing what is theft of my property while I'm at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and while that environment, meaning the fake sun, is over the museum, directed light over the museum, in direct conflict with what I documented yesterday, 24 hours ago, for example, as I am already at, that is the San Bernardino County Human Services Department at 1627 East Holt. And I'm showing you, as I remain, the harassment by third-party omnitrans acting on behalf of an entity, while the fake sun is directly over my head. That is speaking to what is the conduct of an entity. That is stalking, by the way. And following from the museum to the city of Fontana, where the state's fake sun remained over that venue, as I'm showing. You have in direct conflict with that the state's light source, which is remaining over this venue, the Ontario Museum, where the state is stalking by helicopter. All right, this is P.O.C. And the entity stealing my property, and this is my luggage carrier. And so while they are listening to me sleep, while they are stalking, maintaining presence, and engaging in an ongoing terrorizing conduct that I'm documenting and prosecuting the entity for, understand theft of property is within that P.O.C. This is what the entity engaged in on October 2nd, 2019, when I documented the entity, and the people, that includes the people of the state who stole my vehicle, that included everything that I own. All right, that was an act of obstruction of justice while the entity was monitoring my documentation, exhibiting hostility to that which I was documenting about the criminal conduct with which I'm going to prosecute. All right, it is the same exact entity that has stolen my property while I'm at the museum, and they are stalking at the museum. So I'm speaking to what is the entity's conduct for which the entirety of that entity is going to be prosecuted. All right, it is 8:04 a.m. and this is P.O.C. Theft of my property at the Ontario Museum of History and Art, where the fake sun is over, directed light is present, and the entity is still engaging in stalking. All right, so you're stealing property and stalking. That's what the entity is engaging in. It's 8:04 a.m. P.O.C. All right, City of Ontario group stalking in the middle of Holt Boulevard, and also on the opposite side of the museum, stalking in the path under the fake sun at Emporia. You hear those chain checking. He's creating audible activity, which the state is amplifying, knows that I'm walking toward him, not because he saw me, but because he's a stalker. And this is maintenance of presence, vehicle 4143. Fake sun directly over him. That's creation of audible activity. All right, this is license plate 1416308, 1416303 arrives. All right, you're looking at what is a demon-possessed stalker. He immediately arrives behind me as I document the other license plate, and he turns on what is peculiarized light. You're looking at the fake sun right over that. Okay, that's the municipality engaging in demonic activity and terrorism and stalking. All right, knows that I'm coming back to Emporia and arrives with his demon-possessed buddy. License plate 1416303 creates peculiarized light. This is what the municipality engages in. Vehicle 4141, they're stalking at the museum, and that vehicle you're looking at, what is the fake sun right over it. Okay, comes right to the back as you hear me walk back here documenting. He already knows, just like I showed you that demon-possessed stalker on the opposite side of Euclid Avenue. They're surrounding the museum and stalking. And that is the demonic conduct of stalking with light, and you're looking at the fake sun right above him. And that fake sun is on Emporia as I walk to the back part of the museum. All right, that's the municipality engaging in what is theft of property and ongoing stalking. That's the entity. That's P.O.C. It is 8:21 a.m. All right, license plate. That's H&M 7LTC151, 8LGS171, 8PUJ981, 7TKE508, 8RXF745, 7ZD0, I can't see that one, 7JXU519, 8RGM671. And as you see in the video, again, the fake sun is over that side of the building that I've slept on. 8SQG558, just like the fake moon was, as I showed you while the state was stalking via helicopter. And as I walk to the opposite side, 73928B3, Holiday Rock. As I walk to the opposite side, after I'm showing you what is City of Ontario, they're stalking around the perimeter on Euclid Avenue. 7KWF433 under a fake sun and in directed light. Okay, and as I walk to the opposite side of the museum, the state's fake sun is directly over, all right, following as I move. And that vehicle that was on Euclid Avenue, he immediately goes, he knows exactly where I'm going. He's a stalker, 8NHP395. He immediately uses his lights, turns his lights on. 8SNW628, 7FPK697, 5NPU522, 7BSM339. He hops in his truck from Euclid Avenue where he was maintaining presence, group stalking conduct, surveillance, all right, and goes to Emporia and joins his buddy that I'm documenting, which he knows he's monitoring on a communication device, and he is a demon-possessed stalker. And under the fake sun, you see that demon that went from Euclid, and he's under the fake sun. That's what I'm capturing in a picture that's directly over that truck that he then starts using as peculiarized light. 01516K1, that's City of Ontario, that's stalking at the museum on behalf of the entity. 8WLD153 is the same entity, and they are all engaged in what is ongoing stalking, harassment, terrorism, and theft of property, which is already the established pattern of conduct. All right, this same entity has been already documented having engaged in theft. The people of the state are the same ones engaging in what is systematic harassment as I was in the workforce. They were engaged in ongoing sexual violence, as I documented as late as this year, 2021, at Country Village Apartments. This has not changed. It's the same entity, and they are thieves, having already been documented. This is what the entity is engaging in. It's acting through the people, and the people are going to be prosecuted for that. Let alone the fact that they're doing it under the fake sun. 8UEP393, and this entity again engaged in theft of property because it is hostile, and I'm going to prosecute for that as well. 2707484, that's Ryder. US.1730271, 7F83749, 61494X1, 8UKL261, 8SEE092, 7XEP113, 6ROW462, 21479W2, 4V02929. That's City of Ontario creating audible activity, license 1416308, 8RVM176, 7HNM875, City of Ontario 1469611, MILKBIZ 7BNP692. It is, by the way, 8:25 a.m. License plate ONEMODS. $5YDH781. This is a school bus, a demon-possessed stalker who was crossing path, monitoring communication devices, doing it on a school bus. Chaffee Joint Union High School District, license 1302406, and directed light on the passenger side of appearing on the black asphalt. It's the same demonic activity. 8RUK092, 8PZC697, 6NPC308, 7YLG792, 7GIZ844, 7UIP600, 8NVP051, DU784, handicap, 53424S1, 36739R2, 7AWY177, 36739R2, 7XVJ479, 8CYG 547-49829A3, 8HCN 950, 4X62330. All right, and what you're documenting is the prosecution of the entity that is stalking you and stealing all your property, because that's what they're doing right now. BATFAM1, and this is what they've been doing. B8VRM144. That's exactly what 8FEW614, 8PDT395, what Bill and Wags is. They're the people of the state that we're monitoring. Fake son over that tow yard, 1302408. Recall my documentation, state stalking by plane over that tow yard. The state's fake son over my head in that tow yard. Those were demon-possessed stalkers engaging in highly peculiar and the demonic behavior pattern of criminal summoning, all right, and lying in order to engage in harassment with the police who stole my vehicle together while they were still stalking and monitoring. 6THU719. They've been documented engaging in this conduct. 6X13590, and that's what my documentation reveals. What I documented in 2019. It's 8TIS728, 8XQV278, 8PKW091, 41396G2. That is Argamonte and Sons. 4EU8343. That's a large truck. 29387D2, 4YER110. RNDC license 49277E3. 8TWJ884. 8YJP860. 8LKU329. 8JSJ782. 8TBS620. 4YKK121. 6NID026. 5JAV037. 6LPL759. 49101F1. All right, and this is the same. This is the true identity of the entity, and this is speaking to what is the unfit mother, worthy of not only federal prison, having engaged in kidnapping. All right, those are the federal charges that the entity is going to be faced with, and you're stalking and monitoring and terrorizing and stealing the property of one who is documenting you, which you maintain real-time knowledge of, and you're engaging in ongoing criminal acts of obstruction of justice with this psychopath that's hovering over me in planes and helicopters. All right, trying to obstruct the ability to prosecute you for that criminal conduct that's threatening my life. That's why they're going to federal prison, and they will be restrained. 5CRW577, okay? Because they're one entity acting together. You need to understand this is demonic activity, and this is how demons conduct themselves. You're going to prosecute for that because it's indiscriminate. This is the true character. This is the conduct that is personified in every third party. When she's bringing her babies to monitor me under the fake sun, a demon-possessed stalker. When they're driving by a McCarthy vehicle, a demon-possessed stalker, all right? When they are driving by in a school bus, a demon-possessed stalker, 04116T2, that is operating in the people, 8WBH236. 7BWN790, 8SEJ102, a demon-possessed stalker operating a tow yard, acting with the police, 8FDT378, all demon-possessed, engaging in obstruction of justice. All right, 28693M1, demon-possessed stalker, molesting with that which unnaturally occurring, directed light, 6ZSD062, 4ZXU027, and this is the true character of him. And this is going into what is the prosecution of that mother who's engaging in that revealing conduct about her condition, about the criminal conduct that she's engaging in with the government, and the criminal acts that she engaged in as an entity with that public entity as she was being documented engaging in that. That is the entirety of that comprehensive prosecution that the entity is going to face. All right, and still in my property is going to be additional documentation speaking to what is 43808X2, a very dangerous stalker representing the government. This is Coach USA, bus 12840, license plate P82202. I can't see the rest of it, but that's Coach USA, student transportation, 7JJX227, 7EYV746. 8FED335, 7AUE186, 7VZA415, 6VNM188, 8PPT313, 7FPW986, 8LDF608, 7TIV762, 7ZIG981. But let me be clear, it is also revealing what is, not that I need it because I've already established it, but this is going to what is understanding Satan that is acting through the people. Psychopaths. 7 EPW 874. You're talking about understanding what is fear, all right, and disdain for what is revealing the criminal system in the state of California, while they are also under that condition. okay, a uniform condition, which is demon possession. 23179W2, a demon-possessed stalker, versus 1416308, a demon-possessed stalker. One driving their own truck, one driving a truck representing the municipality. Both are demon-possessed, both are under the fake sun, both are stalking together as an entity with the state. That is stalking by helicopter, stalking by law enforcement right now, okay, stalking by fire and ambulance, stalking by commercial airline planes, okay, stalking under a fake sun, which is remaining over me at the museum, and I just documented yesterday where it's entirely different in a different location, not over the same sky space, not possible to coexist. And this is the psychopath that you're documenting that then wants to steal your property. 7WOS 279. I've documented plenty of mothers. I've documented plenty of law enforcement officers. I've documented plenty of officers of the court. I documented San Bernardino County. Understand, they are all a part of the same entity. The state's fake sun is over your venue. You are engaging in what is that demonic pattern of conduct of harassment while you know what I'm documenting about you, about an entity, where the environment is present. You're a stalker and you're a hostile one. 6WXW664, and they are all to be prosecuted for that act by the entity. 8KID 183. That's what that's going toward. San Bernardino County, which not only stole my benefits, okay, 8SQY874, and engaged in kidnapping with the state, 7ROK687, stole my property yet again, 8MJX494. It's engaging in terrorism right now while the state's hovering over me in a commercial airline plane while the psychopath listens to me document. 8CLN593. That's a psychopath. All right, and that's what you're going to pay attention to, because as I publish this information, and this is going toward what is the evidence, and is also teaching the public how the ordinary target individual, American citizens, can now prosecute a government that is a demon-possessed actor terrorizing American citizens, 8SBL403, 8WRM654. This is going toward that prosecution. And that prosecution is also going to inform you how you're going to be able to enforce your rights and put federally imprison those who need to be in that situation. Those engaging in kidnapping, they're going to federal prison. Those who want to steal property, you're stealing the livelihood. Okay, I'm one who went to law school. I went to college. I have not let alone I have no business in this financial situation. This is directly precipitating from the criminal conduct of an entity, the people of the state, that want to harass you and stalk you at the workplace, sexually violate you at the workplace, and then they want to steal your property. They want to steal everything that you own while they know that you are enforcing your rights. They know exactly what I'm documenting. M419B0 is going to be prosecuted for that. 8UDH628, they're one entity acting together. The school bus, 1302411, Chafee Joint Union High School, demons that know that I'm documenting. So you've got one demon after another repeatedly crossing paths going north of Euclid Avenue, and more than one school bus representing Chafee Joint. They're going to be prosecuted for that. They're psychopaths. They're demons. 8ENG133. 6WRG857. That's the same demonic pattern. 07254B2, 76204D3, 7XHE744, 4YOC730. That Amazon Prime demonstrated, as I identified them, you had a pack of demons. They were like cockroaches. This is what I showed you coming from Economy N. This was hostility by demons who know that I documented them. So you had a whole pack of them arriving, and that's not a coincidence under what was a fake sun. That's how I'm going to prosecute them. Okay, you have the same conduct with the United States Postal Service as I started documenting them and identifying them. Then you had a pack of them engaging in stalking, that's terrorism, with knowledge of what you're documenting. And it's not a coincidence under the fake sun and indirected light. They're demons that happen to bear United States Postal Service uniforms. That's the same conduct that Chafee Joint, you understand it's the same demon possession, a different vehicle. 6RHV962, 71826Y1, 7ZYN558. 7KFS405, Union Pacific engaged in the same thing, 7PXK558, 8YEH243, 8CBS812, 7PPA653, 8HLX846, 6A55040, 7KBJ472, 7ATU571, 07399P1, 88247E1, 4VBG482. You already know about these. They engaged in harassment on behalf of the entity, and they're engaged in theft of property. I'm going to prosecute Omnitrans 1545811. It's not a coincidence. This is how the entity conducts itself. Engaging in that conduct, that's exactly why Omnitrans engaged in that blatant act of harassment. All right, while they're monitoring me, engaging in theft of property, Omnitrans is going to be prosecuted for that. They're one entity. All right, and they're a thief. They're engaged in systematic harassment, federal stalking, in violation of Title 18. They are engaged in what is ongoing terrorism while they are the demon-possessed, engaging in that criminal system with the government. And it is 8:36 a.m. License plate 6YJL406, 8SKU554, 7F47, 42767, excuse me, 6YWJ930. RAZ954, and what you're going to look at is the state hovering in a commercial airline plane, 5GMZ546, and right there where the fake sun is, 34179A3, right where I am at the museum at 8:36 a.m., 52311M2. But I've already established this because this does not coexist with being over me while I'm in the city of Upland. 6XST343, just for one single example, 6TMM611, and that's why you have the entity stealing property. All right, because first of all, it's fearful, and second of all, it is speaking to that which is a matter of necessity. Everything that this demonic entity is doing, as it is the ass, it is not the head, it's the ass. Everything that it is doing is speaking to what is necessarily going to follow, which is policy for prosecuting such conduct, which I have already spoken to, but you've got a pattern of ongoing theft of property, all right? And while they are monitoring your documentation, exhibiting very... specifically terrorizing hostility, that's going toward the ordinary target individual, and all the ways in which you're going to be prosecuted civilly and criminally. 8JLH056 as an entity, okay? 6AXD 952, 7RCO 352, 8WSM976, and that has certain implications when you're prosecuting what are a people, the people of the state. 5PRM369, and how they're going to civilly pay for that. License 6WXN512, 7ZFB215, 6BLF013, 5CHB928. That pay for that which is in many ways not quantifiable. All right, 6ZZH507. You have that's City of Ontario, and you're looking at what is paying attention to what is the focus on me that City of Ontario has. 7TQT803. That's Tesla. That's a Tesla. 8DBB293, 11119X2. Those are the same two City of Ontario demons that I documented stalking at the museum, focused on me. 5XRH905, just as they are on every other day. All right? And these are the same ones engaging in the theft of your property and indeed engaging in stalking with the people of the state. I am their focus, and that's why they were stalking as I documented, but I'm talking about they're driving in circles. They're demons patrolling around me under a fake sun and creating audible activity while they cross path. But even outside of that analysis of their demonic activity, which is federal stalking with communication devices, they are demonstrating an ongoing focus on me as they are driving around in circles. All right, 7CHE544. And that is a reality of all of these demons. That's what you're doing under a fake sun. You're focused on me. License, you're stalking. 5HME538, 7FHB087. 8LEF009, 8KJP104, 7WVW357, 7XRR908, 8SAA147, 4RPE605, 5XKP848, 29483J2, 8PAE358, 7SNZ853, 78178D3, 8VMF811, 7W37267, 36122 W1, 6EIP 459, 8TYK 249, ED107 handicap. That's Caltrans crossing path going west on Hope Boulevard. Ontario police engaged in theft of property this morning. Understand that's one entity. All right, they already stole on a grand scale, replete with the state following stalking via helicopter. That terrorizing scenario is published on the front of my YouTube channel. That was the theft of my vehicle, and then stalking from the state facilitating venue of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library back to where my vehicle was stolen from, 714 North Vine. And then the state followed as I went inside of Woodside Senior Apartments, flying over Tracy Banks' apartment, while she held her communication device in the center of her breast and told me that she can't help me. And she took pleasure in that, okay? License plate, while her car was parked in the middle of the parking lot, not in her parking spot. All right? License plate, 8HQK608. I've already published all this. 5YEB796. 8F62C05. 7DRL207. 8VJW152, 6HXM327, 8EMM143. And guess who was monitoring and terrorizing with the state while they were following via helicopter from one place to another yet again, from the library back to ultimately Woodside Senior Apartments and the 7-Eleven? The people of the state, 8EGV716. They were engaged in that theft of property. They were engaged in stalking, following from the library to back to my where the scene of the crime was, theft of my property, and doing so because I'm documenting them. That's why. 7BHJ627, and I'm going to prosecute them for that. Period. 8EMM143. You are understanding all the ways in which you're going to legislate over Satan. Okay? Because you very well can do it. Satan is a criminal acting via the people of the state. Satan is a criminal acting via the state proper. The state of California, demon-possessed. 5MXK830. Practicing demonic activity, monitoring with communication devices. License 8BET337, 6FHN319, 8T97826, 6ROV233, 7NFJ061, 14227J2, 7MYS145, 7CPX805, 63861T1, 8JDX162, 7MNN397, 8VAJ523, 8UKU653. And by the way, it's 8:43 a.m. License 6NSF005. All right, monitoring at the Ontario Airport, monitoring on Euclid Avenue, 8LWG102, Bell Cab Company. All right, theft of property by an entity. That's what Bell Cab Company is engaged in. A demon-possessed stalker engaging in obstruction of justice in concert with an entity hostile to being documented and prosecuted. And I'm going to legislate. Incorporating this criminal conduct by an entity, that is a pattern. This is how you're going to legislate. 02189C1. License plate. AL8846, that's a black license plate with a Raiders logo on it. It's got a little A, little L, and the rest of those numbers. 7J40712, J877MO, 8RZG141, 6ZRR854, 8AQG588, 7KAR800, 8VOS551, 7NNZ301, 7K, oh, I read that one, 6YPN507, 8KCF183, 2976 handicap, 8XM272, 758, 7E3, I believe, can't really see that one, 8LIS354, 8TWM244, 8UOG 869, 6TTB501, 34281F2, 8BQX296, 8EQV148, 50062Y2, 7HSE173, 6EQA780, 8UOM966, 73926B3. That's Holiday Trucking again. 01530D3, 6WZX 959, 8WX. I can't really see the rest. So it says 594 at the end, but I'm missing a character. $29387A1, 6UWA347, 80426Y1. That's Inland Paper Company Incorporated. 6XJS190, Rodas 7ULV626, 17021L, 7PVR641, 8HOA525, 58870C1, 8WYG823, 7PFA875, 7YQJ674, I think I read the one, 7GYP521, 7THS607, 5MYJ791, let's see, 8FER 387, 5XYK866, 27907D3, 40415K2, 8NPF150, 5TNJ693, 8HGH650, 8VKT508, 96063E1, 7PKB145, 5CSZ063, 13345B1, and it is currently 8:47 a.m. Eight RUU 845, 8 BRT 509, 7 CKZ 681, 8 UFP 241, 44640A2, 8 KJC 710, 8 SJD 181, 6XJR 360, 8 PDX 609, 97492G2, 7UOA 803, 7YTE 092, 6NSJ164, 6NHA 940, 8BKW 869, 8HXJ17, but I can't say the rest of one. 7CTK033, 8TAE 800, 7ARC 163, 7BLV 199, 8BWG 375, 6EDG 990, 8PXL 783, 8VOR 413, 8LZB 754, 34401J9, that's paper. Let's see. 8JLH 080, 7EQU 633, 7TKP 863, I believe. Yeah. 6VPF 092, but I can't really see one. 7RMF 867, and 6GAL 555. And again, the Ontario Public Health Clinics at 150 East Holt, they're monitoring as well. They're right here. The state's fake sun is right here where they are in relevant position. 8 UMC 573. Just like I documented yesterday, those are the same demon-possessed stalkers monitoring with communication devices. And as I stand here and the fake sun is remaining over me, they are monitoring. Okay? 04496G3. 2WQW 845. 8TTH 692. 8111 5F3. 7KSC 490. 8 UOM 118, 6 FYH 531, 8 TGF 814, 7 PWV 420, 8 MXK 470. That's Union Pacific. License 7 MDL 844 to be prosecuted for theft of property by an entity. 5 HPM 504. BV 778 handicap. Feeding America is monitoring America. 4JX 5807. That's hilarious. BN 064, monitoring American citizens in a Feeding America truck. 43125H2, you know about those sex offenders of the YMCA. 8PXX237, 6PQZ 255, 8BGZ 960, 08465N2, 289 TPY Kentucky, 7VVG 145, as in a Kentucky license plate. 8CLF 683. 8 ATU 836, 18465C3, a demon driving a Pertec. Directed light just appearing on the asphalt. That demon's focused on me and is monitoring. Inland Power Coding, California 149871. This is license plate 8D51024, 473-22R2, 7MDA114, 8AVC303, 8SCM282, 5WXA114, 8MAH062, 8ROY394, 32891M2, 5CLA311, 6ZTD367, 8JRC284, 6STH098, WQK2016, 97028Z1 SoCal Gas, license plate 6PJH096, 6UYX442, 6DQK732, 7HLT280, 7TDY993, 5NWM351, 5NWM, okay, 351. License plate 5BZR178, 8XVU131, 5S67739, 8TXG725, 7KYH576, 8NVF367, 7SBT134, 7YOU802, 6EDV860, DC672, handicap, 7CCT328, 6UUM665, 6BZN851, 15185H3, Main Street. That's the truck with that license plate, Main Street. 8C23097, 6P65846, 47690R2, 6ZBW197, 8CYD010, 8FEK487, FGH4764, that's a Texas plate, 6VEU789, 8MJU686, 8SNK574. It is 8:54 a.m. This is documentation of what are the ongoing entity that I've already documented and these that I'm documenting. This is theft of property, the entity engaging in theft of property as the entity engaged in what is ongoing harassment as Omnitrans engaged in that. 8LAG on behalf of the entity were the fake son. 8LAG155, that was the group stalker at the chiropractic office at 235 North Laurel. Crossing path under the fake son, where you have what is 02572L2 crossing path under the fake sun that's remaining here at the museum at 8:54 a.m. Okay, DOCEAZ 7FYS332, and you have what is in direct conflict with being over that group stalker's chiropractic office where she was stalking in the path under the fake sun, where it was in nowhere in that direction as it remained over the Fontana Lewis Library. 58599F3. And as I document this demonic criminal system, you have what is theft of property by the entity, represented by 7YUA331. All right, stalking in that deliberately maintained environment and also exhibiting such hostility by stealing your property. This is the government stealing your property, acting via the people, knowing exactly where you're sleeping. It's already established what the state is doing. And so you're talking about engaging in what are ongoing acts of obstruction of justice, which I already documented the Ontario police and the people of the state engaging in. Doing it so again, 7XYS527, 6PJC479. And by the way, being over the Fontana Lewis Library, as I captured it, upon arrival, is in direct conflict with being anywhere over, for example, the the Ontario Village Shopping Center, and then remaining over me at the chiropractor's office, where they were using that office as a venue. That's what I documented, where the state kept its fake sun, replete with what is directed light. That's how you have what was my shadow that was magnified in size on the side of the building where the state's fake sun is remaining on the opposite side. It was in the shade. Okay, that's called directed light, and molestation with directed light while you're stalking and monitoring with communication devices. SoCal Edison, license 8K15283, 8FIV524, 8SCF099, 5UJH073. But that documentation already existed when I went and documented the chiropractor's office. 8N78500, 8XCA318, 8LUA622, 7YZF068, 52123H3. 8LPN069, 5PMW476, 7ZGS 776. And these are the tactics, by the way, these are the tactics of a loser, a very fearful, they're very scared, all right? But they engage in what are acts of terrorism by virtue of their identity, okay? So you don't get to steal property, you don't get to continue to engage in theft and federal stalking as you represent what are the people. You're a group, you're a demon-possessed group, okay? You are also vicariously on behalf of the government, 6WMZ025. 97178R2, and there is no separation from that ongoing pattern of conduct. And by the way, last night I did document the state patrolling, literally repeatedly stalking by helicopter, which by the way occurring in Fontana, following from place to place under what is the fake moon, the same venue where the state is starting with its fake sun, and then it's over me at the county building and in Fontana. And then over the same Metrolink train station with its fake moon where the fake sun is captured as I get off of that bus. Okay, following from place to place with a fake sun and a fake moon. I am not the center of the universe in reality. These are demons who are stalking, and I am the center of their universe, and they are also very scared. Theft of property is documented as ongoing terrorism and obstruction of justice while you're monitoring the documentation. And it's a very desperate act, and it is conduct of what is illusion. Let me break that down for you. 7FBF650, and they've already lost. They are the ass. You're going to create prosecution. I'm sorry, a prosecution and legislation, because you're understanding what are the patterns of the government while it monitors you and how it conducts itself. And you're also dealing with what is psychopath. This is demonic activity. You're dealing with psychopaths, how you're going to treat them, how you're going to legislate over that. Okay? License plate 8XXE719 45370D3 Holiday Trucking. Having a field day. Just having a field day patrolling over and over and over again. And that's intentional conduct under a fake sun and indirected light. All right? Which they have continuously beside their vehicles while they're engaging in terrorism. 8DFB218. License 6TYC403. License 8LSB357. It is 8:58 a.m. and at this time the state's fake sun is nowhere possible over the Ontario Museum. This is stalking as I am at the county building, which I showed before I went inside of the county building, as it was in alignment with me, and as I exited the county building, as I crossed the street, and I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun while FedEx is hovering in a plane as though it's taking off from the airport, but the state is also hovering right here over the museum, not taking off from the airport. Neither was FedEx. They're stalking in airplanes. AQUA CH2 1564 986 City of Ontario, Brinks. 2756327, sex offender in a Brinks vehicle. A demon-possessed stalker in a Brinks vehicle. There is no change from the condition. 7YCT994. 6FHB873. 8HDP144. 8PSV254. And you have what is the state keeping its fake sun over toward that vantage point down Holt Boulevard, and I'm documenting it right now. It's 8:59 a.m. and it's right here over the museum. All right, that is speaking to what is the ongoing intentional presence of what are stalkers, demon-possessed ones, and that's exactly what I was surrounded by at that point at Holt Boulevard. Stalkers, demon-possessed ones. All right, inside of the county building, as I documented them, that's why that environment was present. As I exit the county building, as I document the demon-possessed crossing path in that deliberately maintained environment, that is entirely unnatural. Not the sun remaining at that vantage point over my head, right? While you have it remaining right here over my head at the museum at 225 South Wood Avenue, where it's already documented is remaining. The state deviates from that. All right, that's the same thing it did as I stopped going to Upland. It's just remaining in Ontario. What about remaining over the Upper Public Library? That's the blatant documentation of a psychopath, a stalker. 8EDD065, 8UFD332, and this is documentation of a thief, okay, and the sex offender. 8HDR161, 7ZNW540, 8LFL634, 6MBR248, Crossroads of Choice, license 26484W2, 16453R2. It's 9 a.m. All right, Edison, molesting with the large truck that I took an image of. As I do so, I'm molested with directed light as I turn my back to capture what is the fake sun. All right, that is over the museum at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, this is going toward what I captured yesterday, not going toward what I've already established. All right, this is firm documentation of the county, which I documented. I walked all around that county building while the state was sounding sirens and the fake sun was over me, and I documented the county. They are engaging in what is theft of property. They are a part of that same entity, and they were before. I just specifically identified them by license plate yesterday. 57323D2. All right, and understand, as you do such, this is what the demon-possessed do. This is an act of hostility, and you're going to legislate. That's how you're responding. While they're playing little games, you master what is the purpose, policy, and prosecution. Federal prison, okay? Because you're talking about that which should have been resolved in the first place. Had you had policy, the Ontario Police Department would already be in federal prison, or speaking to what is that prosecution for that lawful result as a matter of justice, and disbanding that police department, for example. 6VVF097, that is engaging in that criminal system. 8VUJ600, that's what you're focusing on. You're not going to be distracted by this. 6ESE572. I know that I'm not, because you're going to prosecute for it. 4A YW555. 7CVN517, 8SWT509. Alrighty, and it is 9:02 a.m. and that is the state's fake sun over the venue while the state is sounding helicopter again. License plate: Carrier Carreras Tours, going south on Euclid Avenue. 4CBZ085, 8PBS495, 87182X2. 5EPZ524, 5BNU204. And it's not just the Ontario Police Department. You're talking about the officers of the court, okay? Those engaging in what is facilitation, a cooperative criminal act of kidnapping. That's what Lisa Rogan and Kara Hudson and license plate 5V12502, Kyle Brody. That's what Laura Alvarez, these officers of the courts, these judges, they're criminals and they're demon-possessed. Understand that. The same exact condition. Engaging in federal stalking, that was obstruction of justice. 7Z and C783, worthy of federal prison as well. You engage in those acts of kidnapping, facilitation of such acts of kidnapping, you are going to federal prison. LWPS1. ARIESP9, that includes criminal summoning, okay? MBUTTA, and that's exactly what I documented by those state actors and that state facilitating venue where the state's fake sun was over that venue. It's nothing but a venue, okay? It has no presumption of legitimacy. That's why the fake sun is documenting over that venue, directed light in that venue, while the demon-possessed people of the state fill that venue. 7ZGS573, the same stalking conduct in the path, the same molestation with directed light, terrorism inside of that venue, while they were engaging in an ongoing conspiracy to kidnap, and did so repeatedly. Now, where you have policy, you're talking about the creation of a license 7TSA967, 8LNH875, the creation of a policy whereby you are able to publish what the government is doing. It's an ongoing threat and an ongoing emergency, and it is designed and intended for 7596A3 to result in immediate action, all right, by the federal government, requiring such action. This is an investigation. This is initiating a federal case against the people. 8PWC481, whatever people, whatever state that is, okay? And publishing it on the internet is for that purpose, and so it is part of a legal process. The court system in whatever state that is engaging in monitoring an American citizen is not a recourse. It is engaged in the P.O.C., okay? And you're not going to have your constitutional issues redressed in that court. It's a venue. 6FOT216, 6NIY495. And that's exactly what the pattern of conduct has revealed. 7R57529, 6WLG013, 65836P2, 6K94701, 7SLR608. And so you have what is, upon creation of such policy, immediate action of such state actors engaging in acts of kidnapping, as were those actors inside of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, obstruction of justice, which is criminal conduct, in the civil courts of the San Bernardino Superior Court, Thomas Garza, okay, Barry Plotkin, where the entity is stealing your property upon what is federal group stalking and monitoring, 4PWY585, and engaging in what is the denial of legal relief to which you are entitled to. You don't even have any. There is no legal doctrine that is going to justify the denial of such relief, but you're not even going to go through those courts. It's nothing but a venue, okay? And that's what I've shown. The fake sun is over the San Bernardino Superior Court. The state was flying over my head in helicopter at the San Bernardino Superior Court. Directed light, stalking via sirens, by AMR ambulance, the San Bernardino Police Department, engaging in terrorism at and around the San Bernardino Superior Court, 8JIM188. The same demon-possessed entity. You are not including that demonic entity in that legal process at all. You're going to prosecute it. 8UDYJ 8DYJ259, excuse me. 39237V2, 42744D3. It is a comprehensive federal response. 8MEL770 for what the state is engaging in concert with the people. 8HGA877, 47721L2, 5485 9E2. And it is that which is intended and necessarily so because it's an ongoing emergency for so long as the government is practicing it. And you see why. We're talking about literally the interruption, if you will, the ongoing monitoring of more than just your communication device. It's your entire life. The people of the state are 4HPA 633 are those that you're working with if you're in the workforce. Those that you are 0444 6V2, 8VDH 603, 7EKB 504, 6NDR 324, 6VPB 682, 8LQF 787, 6UGT 752, 8ETW 515, LARIBA1, Omnitrans loitering in relevant position, crossing path now, going south on Euclid Avenue at 9:07 a.m. under the fake sun. 8UUK100, 7YNN961, 8NGJ338, 8SYE923, 7YDX 807, 7FCD831. You have what are the people of the state are those who are living all around you, and you're in traffic around them, and they're stalking in that environment. These are demons that are maintaining an ongoing existence all around where you are, where you're going, what you do, whatever it is that you do, as you do it. All right. And that is entirely sexually violent, terrorizing, and unlawful. Okay. And they are monitoring with communication devices. All right. And so you have the absolute removal of any privacy. And this is the intrusion of your privacy by a government, by the people of the state. 6PDJ415 that are inherently sex offenders, but also the pattern of conduct by the demon possessed is sexually violent while they touch all over you, molest all over you. 91531X1. And then that sex offender is monitoring the documentation as you are reporting that, if you will, documenting it, and the sex offender engages in that more. So you're going to prosecute that for the very direct documented conduct that it is. Any other sex offender that would engage in repeat acts of sexual violence upon reporting it to the court, for example, seeking to get a restraining order for an ordinary stalker, right? And they engage in this repeated acts, that's going to be considered when you're prosecuting them. That is included in what is the analysis of assessing what is a very violent sex offender. And that is already going, that's already flatlined, that's already established because it's the government that's the sex offender. It's the people of the state that is the sex offender. And then you have what is a repeat systematic sexual violence with knowledge of the documentation. Okay. You have what is theft of property. This is the pattern. Obstruction of justice. That's what that is. 7XDL399, 3801 3W2, and intent to harass and threaten. Okay. 8TGJ152, 8FDP321. While you show and have, while I show, I'm speaking, okay, while I clearly have established what is, in other words, the entire game that the entity is playing, 6LZH469, and it has lost its own game, 1459924. Its own game, it's lost, 59620Y1. Okay, and this is why you have what is theft of property. This is no formidable adversary whatsoever, just like I said. All right, you've got a sore loser harassing you, passing you by with the bus. That's a sore loser. You're going to prosecute for that, though. Okay, it's got legal analysis, 87197Y2, 8BIE561, theft of your property, a sore loser, and you're going to prosecute for that. You're going to legislate, understanding the patterns of the demon possessed, of that sex offender, of that psychopath, all right, of that stalker. These are the patterns. This is the conduct. All right, this is the character. This is the way they engage it, and it is a pattern. One or more occurrence is a pattern. All right, and 9E72031, touching, ride trucking, touching with directed light. A psychopath, a demon, stalking in a commercial vehicle, 4KL7005. A license plate, 8RHV844. It's, by the way, 9:10 a.m. License 63155J1. They're all crossing path under the fake sun that's remaining over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, where it is nowhere present possible where I am yesterday. And that's how you know what's wrong with them and what they're doing. 8TMX312, 7KTU386, stalkers. Documenting and prosecuting what are thieves, okay? An entire entity. 7VBN955, They're acting with an entity, acting on behalf of an entity. The entity's hostile because I'm documenting, I'm prosecuting it, and I'm prosecuting for stealing property as well. 4C, JK 6967, ZAF 8767, GDD 4487, ALL 656. Staples is crossing path. They're a sex offender and a thief and a stalker. 5VKK 475, 5BZL 139. License 7SPG 056. I can't really see that one though. 56533 handicap. It's 9:11 a.m. PSP 7393, that's Texas. 7TLJ 859. SLK 647. 8RTG 294. ED 029 handicap. 7PFR. I can't really see that one. BX 139 handicap. (9F11941) Gaona, Gaona. That's a truck. 4WVL098 7S53355. It is 9:13 a.m. (70907G2 91181Y2). (8UYB 588). 7TFC 753. 6WST 324. 7FMD 455. 6HDW 122. 6TTP 718. VIRG PET. 7YXF 329. 5CW M870 7JBX 279. 8WPY 617. 8SDD, I can't really see that one. 7CLG 243. 8BSN 478. 6KXD 813. 6Y46345. 10851J2. All right, and you have what is called crossing a path, and that's stalking, where the state is keeping its environment and you are intentionally crossing path. That's why the environment is present. That which is not the sun is remaining over the Ontario Museum of History and Art at 225 Euclid, and is not across the street from the county building at 1627 East Holt, where I showed it was clearly remaining upon my exit of that county building. And why is it over my head there? Because that is not going to be seen hovering over the museum, as I'm showing you in images, as I've already documented. All right, what the state is doing at the museum, where I'm there, that doesn't coexist with what I documented yesterday. And this is showing what is the stalking conduct of 8HRC 679, who is intentionally stalking with that entity that is stalking with that unnatural environment. Intentional presence, intentional placement of that environment over me. This is the documentation of an entity that is stolen property yet again, and they're going to be prosecuted for that. 8JIM 188. Ontario Police 159-1668, stalking up down the street from the county building yesterday, creating light activity while the fake sun was over my head. 8CJE 638, 8PCH 801, and they're going to be prosecuted for that. Okay, that's called terrorism while they're stalking. The Ontario Police are very concerned with me. 8RJP 014, 7YAK 956, 8PZZ 781, and not for any lawful concern. They are the demon possessed. The demon possessed are very obsessed with me. The demon possessed are very obsessed with me, okay? That's why I'm repeating it, because that's the reality. 6JP 1028. The demon possessed are inferior, and I'm going to prosecute them for the thieves and the sex offenders and the psychopaths and the stalkers that they are. All right? And this is the reality, revealing what is their condition. 8XTT773, and that is why the Ontario Police is very consumed with me. 5ZMP368, they are demon-possessed and engaged in ongoing criminal acts, including theft of property. Crossing path under the fake sun, and stalking with light under the fake sun, 6TMM226 yesterday on Holt Boulevard, in alignment to me. All right, while Sparklets then replaces the Ontario Police, Sparklets Water, all right, and then you have the, at the venue of the Gordon Dobbins venue where the fake sun is over me, 7SJL414, creating light activity, and at Vineyard and Holt surrounding the perimeter with light activity, those are demons. And those are demons that were driving by under the fake sun. That is nowhere near the Ontario Museum, 03003E2. 75265U2, DONATSU, 8FRY372. And this environment is here because they are all stalking and maintaining presence in that deliberately maintained environment. Centered on me, 8AXX814, 7RGV264, 8VAN096. 4ENN094, 6VVX781, 8TWJ903, 6EUZ560, 8R79931. All of them demons stalking in a demonic environment. 6VDC267, demons engaging in theft of property this morning. This is documentation of such psychopaths. All of them to be federally charged for that. 6VDB912. And what I was speaking to, 8HIZ714, I believe, 4TGJ329. When you're prosecuting what are the people of the state for that which is in many ways not quantifiable, 5VXA564, 59376 and 2, you cannot quantify the harm that the people execute on the life, into the life of the target individual that is monitoring in concert with the public entity. All right. 7SFM358. All right, you're talking about corporate invasion of privacy by entity. You're talking about an ongoing perpetual sex offense by an entity. You're talking about stalking by an entity. You're talking about what is the criminal prosecution as one thing, but that civil prosecution, 8GYJ593. This is the state of California to be liable for that. 37106D2 and the people of the state of California. 29334X1 and for all the ways in which that you can fathom and that you cannot fathom that the people engage in such harm. All right, you're talking about demons. 6CRA478, 3KHK597, 8EWB231, 8GMG233, 6UOE668, 7MLE279, 6XPR257, 798ZP, I believe, handicap. 7VWB741, Omnitrans 1545797, bus number 2341. Under the fake sun, going north on Euclid Avenue at 9:19 a.m. That is remaining over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. All right, that's why that's significant documentation, because yesterday the fake sun wasn't over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. It was over me as I stood across from the county building again. It was over me upon my arrival, upon entrance and exit of that county building at 1627 East Holt. That's where that is on Holt Boulevard. And you have what is the state keeping its fake sun, and that's what I clearly showed you in video. 5H15068. And so what Omnitrans is engaging in is not any operation of any business. What these demon-possessed stalkers are engaging in is not any ordinary driving by. They're stalking as an entity. 8 U.S.N224, including the Ontario Police Department, that psychopath that listens to me, tie together that analysis, and crosses path. 8LMG190 at that moment. Okay, 7RIF381, 8WGM271, 8EQF123. But let me be clear, that's revealing what is a psychopath, okay, and an obsessed one. One that's going to be snatched out of those police uniforms and disbanding that police department, okay? 10896B3. But let me be clear, even if they would have waited 5 minutes till after I said it, I'm giving you the reality of what that demon did. He's driving by, they're listening to what I'm saying, they want to cross path, right there where they're listening to me, want to engage in some sort of distraction, want to engage in an act of terrorism and sexual violence, SULM8TZ. But even if they would have waited 5 minutes after I was making that point, 7LAS148, it is crossing path under the fake sun and in directed light. They're stalking, period. 30643Y1. But I'm speaking to what are demons, and understand everything that they do at the moment that they do it is entirely deliberate, and that is what is called crossing path under a fake sun that is not possibly visible over the property of the museum. All right, that is not possibly over the museum where I am across the street from the county building, okay? License 73918, can't see the rest of them, but it's Holiday Trucking. Holiday Trucking 7392483 or 4B3. That's Holiday Trucking. Demons patrolling repeatedly under the fake sun. 8VDN564. All right, and so 6NCK340. So like I was stating is 4EMN064 and 7NBS328 and 8LPA055, 6UGN075, 5V EV179, 7YXC770 are not only sex offenders intimately aware of what I'm doing in the bathroom while my panties are down, they are also stalking under this deliberately maintained environment, this fake sun not possibly over the museum as I'm showing you, while I'm showing you what is clearly over my head at an entirely distinctly different location, which I would not be able to capture it here if that was actually the sun yesterday. All right, which is impossible. So I've already shown you. Documentation already exists, 7ETZ165, where the state is keeping its fake sun. And it is both in Upland, over me, at that location, at the Vines, where there's being sex offenders, and the state's keeping its fake sun over that parking lot, and then south to be remaining over the Upland Unified School District, over the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid, until I enter the library at the Upland Public Library, where it is clearly captured over my head inside of that venue. All of that exists with what is keeping the fake sun over this side of Ontario, 7B23314, over my head at the B&G Plaza, over my head as I'm walking north through the City Hall parking lot, over my head as I arrive at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, where it's cozy over the 280 North Limit Apartments. And that is impossible to coexist. I clearly captured what is nowhere near over the 280 North Limit Apartments, where this fake sun is right over my head as I am at the Gordon Dobbins, I believe the name of that venue. It's across the street from the county building. And you're looking at what is stalking with light. None of that is possible. That's mutually exclusive. It's an entirely different, I'm not able to see the sky space, in other words, from this location at the museum. I can't see that. 3962712. All I'm doing is aiming my phone right up, and it's right here over my head. 8BJR879 is intentionally stalking in that environment. 5WNC162. And they also know with regard to and are engaged in what is the theft of my property. They are stalking. All right, 6EMJ, they're monitoring. 6EMJ610, they are monitoring in the bathroom. They are concerned with every minor move that I make, know exactly who I am, and engaged in theft of my property, okay? This is the prosecution of an entity. That ongoing criminal conduct is including theft of property today on November 18, 2021. All right, Ontario, City of Ontario crossing path again, 7SML144, 01263W2, AC and heating. They're monitoring while they're bearing that commercial banner on that truck. 8LWA018, 9342-8C3, 1516115. That's the Ontario Fire. 8P19767. And why do they do that? Because they are sore losers. This is why you try to drive by and distract from documentation, driving an Omnitrans bus, because you're a sore loser. 1344121, Ontario Police SWAT, with directed light beside that vehicle, demon-possessed agency to be disbanded. 8WGM967, okay? License plate 7HSM097, that is speaking to the ownership of the Ontario Police Department by Satan himself, okay? License plate 5RGY720, and those are psychopaths having no business in law enforcement. 6LRW480, 00186W1, 6PJW257, 48151Y2, 13805D2, 7SHG498, 8TZB775. And what else are you analyzing? Ontario Police goes out of its way to cross path in a police SWAT vehicle under the fake sun to communicate a threat, a terrorizing threat. Not only are they demonstrating demon possession while directed light is on the asphalt while they are crossing path under a fake sun, a deliberately maintained environment, they are communicating a demonic, that is, i.e. terrorizing threat, with knowledge of every word that I'm documenting as I document it, as I recite it. In doing so, this is what you're also going to pay attention to, what Ontario Police just engaged in concert with third party 8BEU411. They are speaking to what is their worthiness of being disbanded as a police department, okay? Not only based on the criminal conduct that they've engaged in, that I've documented, but they are demon possessed. 1509979. Those are unstable. Those are unstable actors. 43928B3, holiday trucking included. And you have what is directed light. That's the outward demonstration of demon possession, and the Ontario Police SWAT unit is entirely focused on me, okay, engaging in that practicing demonic activity while they're crossing path, and doing so to try to terrorize. 3PFE108 under what is a fake sun. All right, at 9:25 a.m. 8LGW025, you're going to disband such police departments. 5ZBW770. All right, they're criminals waiting for that, and it is a matter of justice. This is not only revealing criminal conduct of an entity, this is speaking to those who need to be snatched out of positions that are very dangerous for them to hold and maintain. 8DBL917, 8GGJ605, 51752N2, 8WES194, 8KDW525, 7BFB351, 6BWM141, and it's 9:26 a.m. YMYBM2, but I can't really see that one. 4XAA 247, and directed light appearing out of nowhere on the back of this sign right here, while the fake sun is directly above. That's just a demon speaking to what is their focus on me. All right, and doing so also, the demons express hostility as they also practice this demonic activity. This is what theft of property is about. It's an expression of hostility. All right, demons are psychopaths, all right, and they're violent sex offenders, and I don't have to make it up. All I have to do is document it. I've told you, then I showed you, and I'm telling you what I told you. 8MZK751, 8RUN900, BT83, Y72, RUNH2L, 6JYJ130, 7ACB437, 8LIK063, 7XRJ900, 8MPY906, 8NTG346, I believe. 436, excuse me. 78092D3, 6WUU760, 6XBB947, 8SHB241, San Bernardino County under the fake sun. Okay, crossing path. The same demonic activity. A license plate. San Bernardino County in a vehicle, by the way. 8GSE974. San Bernardino County at the venue is yesterday, where the fake sun is over 1627 East Hall Boulevard. All right, this is San Bernardino County group stalking in a San Bernardino County vehicle. License 8B48251. 8VHP030. $8WGV 898. San Bernardino County group stalking via license plate 1535422, vehicle number 00614. 3UXD, I can't really see the rest of them. License plate 6XIC412, 45535C1, 8TUY997, 5SVG780, BM47, can't really see that one. 63699V1, 5XXG852, 4FJL157, 6XTP873, 8JOT634, 68918P1, 7YKA616, 1173 handicap, 6UB, I can't really see that one. DS866 handicap, 7CHW718, I believe. It's 9:29 a.m. 6X13430, directed light. 8KGV370, it just reveals how unstable they are. It's pathetic. 8SQL193. Rider, the same demon-possessed stalker in a commercial vehicle. Going south on Euclid Avenue at 9:30 a.m., an entity revealing how unstable it is, how imbalanced it is, and this is as a people, and this is the state of California. Alrighty. X636C0, DAYTRPA, 6KLT443, 7D82196, 8FVX121, 8EWF112, 7EIU727, Group Stalker of Ontario Village. License 7DEX971, Omnitrans 1545906, bus number 2349. At 9:30 a.m. under the fake sun. Let's see. That is called crossing a path, all right? You're not running a business. Every demon on that bus is monitoring, and including the driver. License 7KMJ541. That's how I'm able to document the demon-possessed engaging in hostility on behalf of the entity, and that is crossing by, driving past me on the bus, stopping to let other demons off and not letting me on. They know exactly what I'm documenting. 7TFL451, 4ULE779, 7NKR579, and guess what? It is probative of what I am documenting. It's not a distraction, and it's also probative. You're hostile because it's true. All right. And also you're hostile because you know about it. And the fact that you know about it is because it's true. Okay. License plate This is Ryder, license 2315024. Just made a U-turn, drives down Euclid to go south, crosses and makes a U-turn and comes back up, driving north on Euclid crossing path right now at 9:31 a.m. License plate 73927B3, Holiday Trucking. Those are demon-possessed stalkers engaging in ongoing terrorism. And they're sex offenders. This is cumulative documentation of an entity stalking with light to be prosecuted as that sex offender in this regard as well, including UPS. You've already seen them in action with directed light. They're psychopath demons. 70148C1. You've seen that in action. That's the entirety of the entity. UPS acting on behalf of the people. 8DHH751, 7AJS199, 8DFA533, 00902Y1, 7HEW364, 8WAW235, 8DJU819, 8XBU341, BU14C99 paper, 6BLF828, 8RBP381, 8RBP381. XTP599, 4U40352, 7SQK047, Ontario Police 1562880, 5RIG827, 8PBF367, 7NAK, I can't really see the rest of them, 8JOZ525. Alrighty, and it is currently 9:33 a.m. All right, documenting what are a demon from the county health building, BT73D68, crossing path under the fake sun, 8VMR106, and she's monitoring. 8RBD247, license 7DHK742, 8S13934, 8WBX143, 8BCZ146, Ontario Improvement Association, monitoring in relevant position on the opposite side of the street. It is currently 9:34 a.m. as I'm capturing a visual of what the Ontario Health Clinic is doing in relevant position on the opposite side of the same street where the state is keeping its fake sun. All right. You have what is a demon wearing scrubs. Doesn't matter what that demon is wearing. Okay. You're talking about identification of the status of that demon that is engaging in monitoring and stalking on behalf of the public entity. All right. And crossing path in operation of her communication device, doing so in a deliberately maintained environment. She's stalking. And she's using her communication device under that, which is not the sun. And that's what I took a picture of. P.O.C. It's 9:35 a.m. 6XDE079. 7PTT469, 8CRZ164, 93589W1, 7NRF884, 68704S1, 3MJN722, 55150Y2, 6TJT117, 7NVS621, 8FSE063, 7NPA569, 7RSF727, 7XPX861, and let me tell you, 8WLA580, what this entity is very fearful of, including the Ontario Police, including American Medical Response, including what are the third party, the people of the state, but this entity it is horrified, okay, scared crapless because of the documentation. 6RJT380 that I have already published, but as I am combining it together and I'm showing you I'm continuing publishing my documentation, for example, 53362Y2, 8URH928, for example, I published yesterday, March 9th, March 11th, March 12th, March 13th, March 16th, and I'm continuing with the release of such documentation and putting it in its proper context, combining all of that documentation together, including it both my podcast with my video podcast and images. And this is in combination with the ongoing documentation that I have continued to accumulate, showing you what is the totality of that whole picture of the criminal act of the entity. 6UMF 982, 7UDD 189. This is also relevant to the theft of my property while this entity is scared of that, okay? 7RFV 481, and this is why you have theft of my property as well. 7YXP 980. 8CRZ 381. Let me be clear, that conduct is probative as well. You're not engaging in this conduct because you are just engaging in that random conduct under what is that environment. After you have a prolonged period of documenting this activity, there are no coincidences. I've already demonstrated. This entity is horrified. Okay, you're talking about them experiencing their own dose of fear now, and they've been scared for a long time. But let me be clear: 1410308, that's City of Ontario. Let me be clear: the conduct of the entity is prosecuted as it actually is. This is terrorism by psychopaths, the demon possessed, representing the government. It's terrorism, and the government engaged in theft of property. That's the pattern of conduct. All right, 7SQN834, and that's exactly how you're going to treat psychopaths. Where the government is monitoring, 7V34353. The targeted individual is subject to the government's criminal activity, theft of their property, all right, the inability to engage in participation in the workforce with the people of the state who are monitoring with that entity, engaging in what is, again, going to be the implosion of your economic status. I can't see that one. 7B DJ 284 license. I can't see that one. You have what is 5XVK044. 7GY8459. Holiday Trucking again. Demon with license 73931B3. 7REX503. You have what is documentation of what is the criminal acts of the entity. Spectrum is crossing path with license plate 04848G2. With fear of what I am publishing on my website. So 7GDU288, what I am organizing and putting all together, this is going toward the prosecution. Let me be clear, I'm going to prosecute, and this documentation is very relevant. UPS crossing path again, 11178U2 at transit under the fake sun. Okay, stalking. You have what engaged in what is theft of property. They're the same entity. The same entity that was molesting and terrorizing with directed light is crossing path right now and engaged in theft of property. That's what that totality of that documentation is revealing and what it is going toward. Okay, you're not in any way exempt from the criminal conduct by an entity. This is why you don't want to be a part of that, and this is how you're going to prosecute, this is how you're going to legislate. So anyway, you have what is, and understand this is how demons act. This is a pack of demons that I'm treating as the psychopaths that they are, and this is how demons act. This is how you're going to have the law treat them, because you see demons are unbalanced, unstable actors who are in positions of government, who are in positions in the medical field, who are in positions in the court system, and you're going to treat them under the law as the criminals and the sex offenders that they are. And they're demonstrating that by the demonic environment, the demonic behavioral pattern, 8MSR066, the criminal activity they're engaging in with the government and on behalf of a government. All right, 8UUA300, showing themselves to be psychopaths and the sex offenders. That's established by the pattern of conduct. All right, psychopaths that think that they can hide behind some commercial logo. No, you're going to drag that company brand, showing it to be that which is monitoring American citizens. 05362A1, 8VFB204, 6CUE325. 8TGC811, 8MDN042, and monitoring American citizens, sexually violating and terrorizing American citizens, whatever company, 8PNW541. Demonstrating demon possession, that's also going to be known about that company, 5LRX610. 7RIU131. Now, there will be American citizens who celebrate that. Hey, you want to say do whatever. But that company is going to be suffering from the loss of reputation. 8TWF299. You're going to drain the pockets. You're going to criminally prosecute. All right, engaging in that conduct to an American citizen. All right, you have what is 8RUM800, crossing path while the state is just making light appear on the back of this sign, impossible light activity. That's a sex offender that's entirely focused on me, a demon-possessed one. Omnitrans is across the street, stalking at the bus stop under the fake sun, engaging in that act of terrorism while the psychopath's listening to me document. 6GTX334 at 9:41 a.m. under the fake sun. Remember, 4WKJ564 ILYVL. It is speaking to what is the
7XCR823, 7BBW005, 8UKB191. Great trepidation as I am putting that documentation together from March 2021 on forward. 7DIR 978, 8KAS 628, 7SDH 198, 7CWT 763. That's what this is about. I just want to be clear. They're horrified, scared to death. 8KXB731, 6C17996, 6EJK550. All right, and so this is to any authorities who are literally witnessing my documentation, waiting for me to tell the totality of that story, waiting to make a move on the people of the state of California, on the government, as to what I am alleging. I want to be clear. Proceed with my documentation. I'm going to upload the totality of it. Proceed with the dates in sequence with my documentation. It is showing the totality of that story. I went from documenting the state keeping its fake son at this portion of Ontario, from B&G Plaza, from the museum to B&G Plaza, to the Ontario Town Square, to the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, and then I went to Economy Inn. You're looking at what is, first of all, that room that is only facing south of that room at 2301 South Euclid Avenue. There is no vantage point where I can even see what is at this point. This is north of Economy Inn, and I showed you what was the state keeping its fake sun directly over my room, directly over that parking lot. The same with the fake moon at night. The Ontario Police Department, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, the Ontario Fire Department, American Medical Response, and the people of the state stalking at that venue, engaging in this conduct, and it is fully documented at that venue, where I'm showing from March until May, and then I returned from May until June, and this is where the Ontario Police Department engaged in kidnapping in June, and this is the totality of that documentation. And I want to be clear, the entity stealing my property is because they are monitoring my documentation as I am putting all of that in sequence, including all of the relevant information and my video and images, all of that together. They are scared of that. Continue going through with my documentation. 8XFP499, and I will put, I am going to continue doing that, but this is what they're trying to slow down. 8RGX278, and people are going to federal prison for that. Understand, the Ontario Police Department is going to be prosecuted with regard to its acts today of obstruction of justice. All right, while it is monitoring the documentation. This is the pattern by the entity, and this is the psychopath cross the path again under the fake sun at 943, stalking in the back streets and stalking right now visibly. 1496947, vehicle 1845. All right, that's P.O.C. License plate 6SMR356, 22569U1, Holiday Trucking, 6XTZ245. And that's what I mean by a psychopath, all right? These are demons of the Ontario Police Department, acting with the people. They're all demons. But the Ontario Police Department, they're demons. They're hiding around on the back streets. They're stalking inconspicuously, all right? And the moment that I'm saying something, then they want to cross path visually. They're psychopaths. All right, I am one that they're monitoring. I'm not scared of the Ontario Police Department. They're demons. All right, they are inferior in eternity. Let me be clear, okay? I'm not going to start preaching, but let me be clear. They are under my feet. I'm putting them in federal prison. I'm going to show them to be the demon-possessed actors that they are, the criminals having no business in law enforcement. That's why this is happening, okay? Not because the demons win. The demons lose. They're going to hell, and they're going to be prosecuted. And I'm telling all their secrets. Okay, it's not just that. The people of the state, those who are in positions of mothers or whatever it is that they do for a living, driving school buses around children, there are many demons who are going to be suffering federal repercussions. This is public corruption, and this is revealing what is demon possession of an entire entity while they are monitoring an American citizen. And this one is revealing what are those who need to be snatched out of many very dangerous positions that they are maintaining in that psychopath, unstable condition. All right, that's what this is about. 8UTS335, and you have what is the Ontario Police, who was a stalker around on a back street, then crossing paths visibly while that psychopath is listening to every syllable that I am stating as I stated. 73926B3, Holiday Trucking. License plate 5GBM185, Stericycle, US.397962, license 01006W2. 7HJW199, 8RTW332, 6PJL466. So continue with my documentation. Continue with it. The information with regard to where I was at, I remained at Economy Inn from March 2nd, 2021 up until May 1st, 2021. And then May 2nd, 2021. And then I left and I heavily documented these demons. All right, and then I returned on May 5th, 2021, and then I left, I believe, on June 1st or June 2nd, 2021. I believe it was June 1st. All right. And this is where I returned to what is the museum. And the state just like it does from Upland. It's no longer over the Upland Public Library. You're not possibly over the Upland Public Library. You're remaining over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts right now. I am already documented. I'm at the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid at the Upland Unified School District. And then the Upland Public Library at this time, it's 9:46 a.m. The state just deviated from remaining over that parking lot where it was quote unquote rising on the left side of Economy Inn at 2301 and setting on the right side of Economy Inn at 2301, keeping directed light, all manner of molestation of directed light. You're going to look at what is absolutely impossible. This is terrorism, and that's how you're prosecuting it. You're seeing a consistent pattern with my documentation because the state was engaging in a consistent pattern of stalking and terrorism, practicing demonic activity while it was monitoring me with communication devices inside of what is a private space. That's what that hotel room of Economy Inn represents. That's a sex offender that was engaging in surveillance inside of that hotel room where I was at Economy Inn. And that, for the presence of the state's fake sun over that room and remaining. And then as I left from that venue in June, you're looking at what is it? It is directly over my head. And understand that hotel, all those rooms are facing south. There is no vantage where that's coexisting with any of the documentation that I have over here, let alone being over the county building yesterday. All right. But this is documentation that the entity is very scared of. And I captured the entirety of the entity, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, the Ontario Fire Department, American Medical Response in the parking lot under the fake sun, using their vehicles as light activity creation, stalking with light, demonic, under the fake sun, which was glaring over my room. All right. Showing them to be the demons that they are, stalking and monitoring, engaging in surveillance at Economy Inn under the fake sun, which remained over me, their entire focus, engaging present pursuant to what is criminal summoning. All right, 8 MVS 622, acting with the people of the state, all of them engaging in surveillance. All right, so they are fearful of this documentation. Go ahead and proceed forward with listening to it. And you have what is my continuing with putting it in order. But let me be clear, all of this is related to theft of my property. The entity is terrified. All right, they're terrified of my, and it's that which I have a righteous stance. I'm prosecuting you because you're a sex offender and you're a stalker, and you're the government doing that. All right, and that's why it's my duty, because the government has no business doing it, and that's what I'm very passionate about. The government has the audacity to do this to me, and not only that, the government is literally Satan itself. This is demonic activity. Oh, in every way. I am commissioned with and empowered with showing you how you're going to treat Satan. It's an unstable psychopath, acting through 7YQG 480, acting through the Ontario Police Department, acting through 8FWF 033. All right, and theft of property is showing you the true character of those demon-possessed stalkers. While they act like everything's normal under a fake sun, it's not. They engaged in theft of property today. 8BET082, and that's because they're scared, and they should be, because many are going to federal prison. 8MTR 577. All right, they are thieves, and they are sex offenders. License 4VWC 4VWC 707, 8DSV 967, 8WUU 286, MUECAS with a heart in front of it. Heart MUECAS. That is City of Ontario now creating audible activity with a lawnmower, just where they were stalking this morning. 61231Z2, mowing the lawn under the fake sun with directed light. There is no form. They're the same demons. All right. Let me be clear. The municipality, they're going to federal prison as well. They engage in criminal summoning, monitoring, and kidnapping with the Ontario Police Department. It is 9:49 a.m. 7 p.m. D680. And this is just speaking to, you can test, because this is from, that which is 8WLA294. If you have not already noticed, I told you before you had any evidence to see with your own eyes what is demonic activity. And I have shown you that which you can witness with your own eyes, that which is demonic activity. This is judgment that is coming from beyond the natural. Speaking to what is that which you cannot see, their demon possession. And I've shown you what is the evidence of it while they're engaging in criminal conduct. It's not impervious to being prosecuted in court. I'm telling you what's going to be the end result. I'm telling you what our psychopaths, while they engage in an ongoing defeated effort to try and slow that down, they're not slowing down anything. That prosecution, that judgment is coming right on time. 6LNS424. And let me be clear, Satan is operating through companies, through individuals, through institutions, through organizations, all right, through those who are online. And it is very, very hostile to it. 8YBX908. And I am speaking to what is the creation of a policy, because you're going to tame Satan and put it in its place. All right, license 73923B3, such as Holiday Rock. Holiday Rock, they're having a field day today. Okay, we're going to prosecute tomorrow. License plate 7YMW993. It is 9:51 a.m. in the state's fake sun remaining over the Ontario Museum of History and Art. All right, monitoring at RIA Money Transfer, monitoring at what is T-Mobile, monitoring at Sensational's Crossing Path. You already know the City of Ontario, the Ontario Police Department. You have what is the commercial actors as I'm identifying, and the people in their individual license plates. You have what is the Ontario the Ontario Public Health Clinics at 150 East Holt monitoring. All right. While I'm documenting, they are engaging in a ceaseless, obsessive stalking conduct. 7YHR871, 8VRL731, 6WSP413, 98434K2, 6BXU670, 6XDT934, 6ZNA977, 8BQX349, 5KLK355, I believe. 7GBZ 762, 7CTC 504, 5EGU 130, 7VXL 216, 18016E3, CADIL Heart V 153 6146, 7RDH 509, 79172S1, Kirtland Roofing Incorporated, license 510174, monitoring, license plate 03781U2. All right, monitoring with the City of Ontario, who's creating peculiarized light and audible activity in the middle of the street on a lawnmower under the fake sun. 6TDH553, that demon is engaging in what is criminal facilitation. All right, Ontario Improvement Association is still lording a relevant position. This is P.O.C, it's 9:52 a.m., and this is documentation of the entity engaging in theft of property, which is obstruction of justice, which is a documented pattern. 8BZE238. Group stalking city in her car. License BU12N99, a paper plate, 8BYA920, 8USS068, 5YEF458, 7FBU330, 8BHJ845, 8FDF148, 7WZR971, 8A07867. MDEALBA 7TWH 756. That's the state sounding plane engines under what is the fake sun. And that is the fake sun at 9:53 a.m. Again, 24 hours ago. Where am I? I am nowhere near the museum. And this is the stalking conduct by the entity that stole my property this morning. Understand that? And this is also that ongoing act of hostility while they are stalking in airplanes and listening to me document the people of the state. Flying right over the 150 East Holt building, 5NQC563, 7KCF313. All right, and that is speaking to the deliberate creation of activity in that environment that is unnatural. That's Union Pacific. And that is also amplification. 8HND051 under the fake sun. It's the same analysis as if Union Pacific was driving by under the fake sun. Union Pacific is the guise under which audible activity is created under the fake sun as I move, okay? 8XCR552, 5VES486, 8YEV591, while the entity is tracking my moves, stalking on the museum grounds, stalking, walking on Emporia. All right, those are the demons of 150 East Holt, like they're exercising. Those are demons that are stalking. It's 9:55 a.m. and that's another commercial plane. That is Amazon Prime. Stalking with 8BMY900, 5R34722. Stalking with 8MEY606, 8MSU249, 8SZ581. All right, and I'm showing you the stalking conduct. They are crossing path while Amazon Prime flies right over me where I'm standing at Emporia, and this is Lemon, and you're looking at what is the fake sun directly over them. This is impossible to coexist. I'm already showing you what is the state's fake sun in motion as I am on the Omnitrans bus leaving from Holt Boulevard. All right, I showed you what is the state's fake sun at 10 o'clock in the morning, which is nowhere coexisting with anywhere over here at this part of Emporia. All right, this is the ongoing consistency of documentation. 8CLN593, 8KNJ137. And that is called stalking while they're crossing path, and doing so with simultaneity of Amazon Prime flying over, and doing so while the fake sun is directly over you while you're making a U-turn using your vehicle as light activity, demonstrating what is the pacing conduct of a demon in a demonic environment. That is terrorism, okay? That's the entity, and this is the same entity engaging in theft of property, 8CJD 478. C, license 8YLZ320. And you've got climate.com, license plate 20848Z1. Alrighty, the state's fake sun remaining over the grounds of the museum. So climate control and someone that works at the museum, they are engaged in federal stalking and doing so in concert with the state that is keeping a fake sun over the venue. All right, Allied Universal is stalking in the path as well. This is the same demon in the white pickup truck who's using it as a means of stalking with light while he's got a cross on the back of his truck engaging in demonic activity. He's crossing the street at Lemon in transit, studying his communication device under the fake sun. That's P.O.C. It is 9:57 a.m. Him walking across the street from the parking garage where the fake moon was directly over my head is called crossing path. License plate 6KWX000. 8XSF645. I think I read that one already. In case I didn't. It's 9:58 a.m. 8NOU718. 8XQA362. 8UGW685. 5XML332. BM78099 paper. 8MKL884. 6MHH676. 8JFU525. 6LVG828. All right, and I'm showing you what are in fact demons, and they're in a demonic environment, and this is engineered light that is showing up on the ground while it is hitting right over the parking garage as I'm walking. It's no longer over the museum. That's what I'm able to capture while I'm standing next to 6LVG828 that has engineered light on the ground beside that vehicle, and between them impossible light activity. 6MIT028, 8AOC027, 6AFX993, 8V ZR712, 7ZGW639, 6AFX993, 8WYB928, 7VLK649, 5PEV892, 5TMB945, 6XOT078, 5WNC162, 8N78500, 5YXY344. And again, that demon with Allied Universal crossing path, doing so representing that company is license BV667 handicap. License 8Z47699. All right, showing you what are the demons of 150 is told. They're scrubs. Wearing scrubs, they're demons that are crossing path, maintaining presence. They're in engineered light. All right, they are in relevant positions, stalking with the entity. And that's inside of the parking garage of 150 Salt, where the state's fake sun is directly over. That's what I just showed you in a picture. I want to be clear, when you're looking at this image that I captured at 9:59 a.m., the state's fake sun is right over this parking lot. Engineered light is on the ground while I'm showing you while I'm standing next to that car. And this is the same location where the state's fake moon is directly over my head last night, while I captured the fat-faced third-party group stalker who engaged in molestation, okay? While they're listening to me describe their state and their criminal conduct, which is as despicable as I place it. The terms that I use are precise. 6XTZ, hold on. Let me get this demon's license plate. License 6XTZ245. Yeah, so I want to make sure you pay attention to that. It's over the same location. That's going toward the prosecution. And what you're dealing with, unstable. 7SXR831, 6H68086, 77366D3, 7XXY852, 8AMY647. Communication device in hand, crossing path under the fake sun, license plate 7JZM341, exiting B&G Plaza. 8WJT798. See. 8TBR762. 7CCS957. PWE M49, that's Florida. Audible activity creation, relevant positioning, light activity creation, operation of a communication device, 7NXD855. Andy's Burgers crossing path coming out into the drive-thru while the state flies over and the fake sun is over there. Let me show you. Alrighty, that is license 6KWX000 monitoring with Andy's Burgers, who comes out the side door as the state is also at the same time flying over. She's got a communication device in her back pocket. That's a demon that's monitoring, and the fake sun is right over the back side of that drive-thru where I'm standing. Monitoring with 6KWX000, okay? The same one that crossed path while I'm at the intersection of Limit and Transit. 7SXR831. And that is indicative of what is the psychopath. 8M, I can't really see that one. City of Ontario, stalking with light at the north part of Plum. Metro 102 is monitoring. That's a third-party facilitating venue. License plate. 7KCW920. 7XXY852. 7SXR831. I think I read that one already. Alrighty, and what you have is the state engaging in theft of property, as it knows that it is very fearful of the documentation that I continue to reveal the fact that they're psychopath stalkers. All right, because you have what is the state's fake son, and we're going to steal her property to stop her from showing that we're stalking with a fake son, and you're psychopaths. License 40589D2. All right, because they know that there's no reconciling, and this is absolute fear, okay? Fear in every way. Let me show you engineered light on Andy's Burgers. That's a demon of BX216 handicap entering inside a third-party facilitating venue, Andy's Burgers. Where directed light is right here in front of the entrance. Scooby-Doo bop 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 under the fake sun is a demon that knows they're being documented and engaging in audible activity creation. License. And that is the fake sun, by the way, that is moving as I move. It's no longer over the drive-thru where that psychopath with her phone in her back pocket while the state flies over that drive-thru. With the fake sun right over that drive-thru where I'm standing, 8WJT798. It's now over the front part of the B&G Plaza, okay? Over the front entrance area of the Andy's Burgers where I'm showing what is directed light. That's how I have double shadows. And that engineered light is showing up on the ground. That's absolutely impossible light activity appearing underneath the covered structure of the Andy's Burgers. Speaking to what are the demon-possessed who are monitoring with the state. And 40589D2, 6B53524, 7LVR355. You have what is 7LGE191. You have what is engaging in such theft of property because the entity is very terrified of I have told the secrets of the state of California. Not only the fact that they are engaging in stalking American citizens with fake sons, okay, because that ain't the sun, and they know it, and they engage in, and not only that, the fact that they know it, they know that I've shown it, okay? License plate. BT57R32. That's a teal blue Porsche. He's stalking in a Porsche, okay? That's what's wrong with California. It doesn't matter what these demons are driving or what they're wearing or where they work. They got issues and they're stalkers, and he's doing so under a fake sun. He's intentionally present stalking somebody. 8FAJ408, 8NXC242, 5BJE361, 6PQZ175, 8KQY802, 7XXY852, 8RWB549, 7PVR641. And it is entirely pathetic. It's fear, though. 8EZT189. 7WTG913, 8USN224, 7H744483, 5XGZ503, 6RXY460, 8P12439, 7VOS809. It is 10:06 a.m. Showing you what is the state's fake sun as I'm standing in the B&G Plaza in front of the Dentist Familiar Dentist Familiar, Next Generation Insurance inside of the B&G Plaza at 10:07 a.m. where I've already shown you where the state's fake sun is at 10 o'clock yesterday. And remember the day before that I showed you where the state's fake sun was at 10 o'clock right here over B&G Plaza. And then I've already shown you where the state's fake sun is in the city of Upland, where the state's fake sun is when I'm in Fontana. None of this is coexisting. The state's fake sun is at 10 o'clock when I'm at Economy Inn. The state's fake sun at 10 o'clock when I'm at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. Right over my head, okay? This is stalking with light, and this is also why you have theft of property, all right? That's fear of that revealing documentation. 7RKJ581, 8JFJ278, 8FED335, 6FOV514, 7YWR584, 8DFA533, 7Y07892, 8UER698, 8RTC981, 8VWH938, 8WJT798, sitting in his car now over here by the dumpster, 5FYR528, 6EJK550. Came from the Andy's Burgers, stalking in the parking lot with Southwest Airlines. All right, that was Southwest Airlines flying over while he is group stalking, and I'm showing engineered light behind his vehicle, absolutely impossible light activity, and it is also the state's engineered light. You have what is the state's fake sun, and Southwest Airlines flies over the moment that I go to document that. Let me show you directed light on this vehicle as well. This is informative because it shows you what the state's light does. It bounces off of surfaces. It's engineered light and it's not sunlight. And that is what is covering the ground and on the brick wall beside that third party with 8WJT798 who was stalking at Andy's Burgers under the drive-thru where the fake sun was over me, and stalking at the Shiro's Liquor side of B&G Plaza where the fake sun is over me here and not over Andy's Burgers anymore. And certainly impossible to coexist with yesterday where it was at 10 o'clock at 10:09 a.m. when I am en route. It is 10:09 a.m. Let me show you this. All right, the license plate 7ZYN558. This is a vehicle that is under what is engineered light, and the state. You're looking at what is a pattern on the that is a bumper. That's a bumper. It's like a ribbed bumper, and you're looking at what is the state's engineered light. As it hits that, it bounces up onto the paint of the car, onto the surface of the car. That's the state's engineered light. That's not ordinary sunlight, okay? And this is what demons intentionally cross path in, all right, and molest with, including Omnitrans, license 1545686. Omnitrans is crossing path under the fake sun that is no longer over Euclid in transit with Holiday 10654J2 and using that bus as a means of audible activity. Bus 2355 and referencing the camera. Again, 1545686. Molesting with directed light as well. They are crossing path under the fake sun. All right, engaging in what is intentional presence in the same way that they engage in intentional denial of a fare while they're hostile to my documenting. They know every word. They engage in intentional presence in this regard, using nothing but a bus, which is relevant for 18 U.S.C. It's interstate commerce, while they are engaged in federal stalking. And this is the demon possessed engaging in terrorism, stalking an American citizen in that incredible manner, using a bus line. All right, acting as an entity. Monitoring with 5BND 978, all of them under a fake sun. Impossible to coexist with what I showed you yesterday, 24 hours ago, where I am nowhere near the B&G Plaza. And this is why you have the entity, including Omnitrans, including 5BND 978, the same demonic entity that is stalking and engaged in theft of property, because they are scared of the secrets that I'm telling, and I'm going to prosecute them for that. You're understanding what is the psychopath. And this is how the government works. This is the demon-possessed entity. This is P.O.C. It is 10:11 a.m. It is 10:12 a.m. and stalking with activity, listening to every word, exits the vehicle as I end that recording. And so I'm showing you what is images of a demon-possessed stalker. Directed light appearing on the front of his car while he's parked in the shade. Remember, this fake sun is over the structure. This is the state engaging in displacing directed light as I'm documenting that demon that went in on camera on Shiro's Liquor cameras. It is 10:12 a.m. That's a demon that's stalking with activity. And that's a demon flying a Southwest Airlines plane at 10:12 a.m. P.O.C. All of them listening together as one, okay? All of them stealing together as one. P.O.C. All right, 10:13 a.m. Directed light inside of the store. All right, where I'm standing here looking at the croissants and the cereals. while he's in here. Oh, you can't take a card, man. Oh, monitoring, and directed light is moving through the store. Those are the demon-possessed psychopaths stalking inside of a venue. This is P.O.C, and he's on camera just walking back and forth with his phone, engaging in superficial activity creation while directed light is moving inside. That's what you're going to focus on, is the environment. Its intentional presence, its conduct of a psychopath and of a stalker. And it is 10:13 a.m.
Perfect.
It is currently 10:16 a.m. In case I did not get this one, 8VQM672. 6VCH740, 6NVC078, 6EJK550, 8HGL007, in case I didn't read these, 5VWH938, BA42H38, paper, 8UER698, and 7Y07892. Just in case I didn't read those, because I was showing you what was that stalker that followed from the Andes drive-thru, and I wanted to get that engineered light on the ground, and then Southwest Airlines flies over, and then the state flies over again in another plane, as I'm showing you what is that group stalker that was stalking with activity on the Honda Civic, and then engages in stalking with activity while I'm inside of the venue, engaging in maintaining presence while the state is aiming directed light inside of the store. Okay, it is currently 10:17 a.m. Okay. All right, 10:19 a.m. You're looking at what is simultaneous entrance into the store as I reach for my phone in my pocket. Okay, it is. I did complete my purchase though at 10:18 a.m. and I remain inside of the venue of the S.I.I.S liquor. This is P.O.C, and these are demons that surround, engaging in stalking inside of the venue. P.O.C, it's 10:20. 8VAT460. All right, stalking in the store with directed light, moving all around. His shadow is appearing behind him on the brick wall. This is impossible light activity. DA74686. All right, POC. Exiting S.I.I.S liquor. All they're doing is maintaining presence in the path. This is clearly established. I'm just documenting it. All you are doing is all that is ongoing, where the entity is stalking with a fake sun, it's stalking with directed light, molesting with said light methods, stalking with audible activity. They're demons that are engaging in that stalking conduct physically as an entity, and doing so in whatever commercial means they have available. 1400243, and this is an entity that is very desperate and very fearful of what is the documentation of their criminal system as it is in operation, and that's why you have what is theft of property, as I'm documenting it today, on November 18th, 2021. It's 10:24 a.m. And that's what I mean by stalking with activity, using everything to engage in such conduct. That is a demon, as I'm documenting, literally a demon-possessed stalker who is entering the store, which as you walk in the door, there's a beeping. He literally uses his entrance into the store to stalk with activity. At the moment that I reach into my pocket to grab my phone, he enters the store. You're already stalking, you're already present, and you're paying very close attention to what I'm doing. You are also under a fake sun, revealing the fact that you are demon-possessed and that you're stalking. License 8DSV967. You are also engaging in what is presence on behalf of the state that is stalking, hovering over the storefront with airplanes. That includes Southwest Airlines. That does so as I document and identify third parties. And that's why you have what is the state hovering over in the Southwest Airlines plane, right over the B&G Plaza, where the fake sun is, right over the B&G Plaza, and doing so as I document that third party who's inside of the store while the state is aiming directed light inside of the store, inside of the aisles of the store. Okay? That's POC. It is 10:25 a.m. 8CIZ 873, 7TMV694, 8TON343, 3624OC3, 798-79686J1. All right, and you have what is the maintenance of flashing light, peculiarized light, 8XDC468, and that's at Metro 102. I showed you what this demon-possessed stalker was doing, I believe the day before yesterday as I walked north. The demon-possessed stalker is keeping its fake sun over me as I walk north up Plum, all right, from B&G Plaza. The demon-possessed stalker, acting via the people, is maintaining presence via Guadalupe or however you pronounce that, furniture at the Metro 102 apartments as I cross paths, and the demon-possessed entity is maintaining presence through that female, that demon-possessed stalker that was using her hazard lights. That's what the entity is doing. The same conduct, different face. Okay, stalking in the path with light. They're creating flashing light in what is engineered light. All right, this is not ordinary light that is covering the grounds. That is aiming light. I'm showing you what is the engineered light that covers the grounds, and they're in that environment, in that atmosphere, creating flashing light. They're stalking, and it's also demonic while they do so. 5ZCY744 turns on their brights as I walk past. That's a molestation while the state is flying over by plane. All right, monitoring with WP98509. The state creating light activity as though flying over with a plane creates a shadow. This is documentation of what is terrorism, including City of Ontario 1509108. All right, that's terrorism by a demon-possessed stalker that's fearful of your documentation. 6UEL224, 6ZNC642, 4ZYW657. That is also indicative of what is a psychopath, okay? That is monitoring your documentation. Demon-possessed, all right? This is psychopath. License 4YWC070, 8JLK126. All right, and so I showed you what is Guadalajara furniture and that demon-possessed stalker creating peculiarized light while she's using her hazards. That's exactly what the entity is doing. Different face, same demon possession, same public entity acting via the people, and doing so stalking in the path under what is not the actual sun, the fake sun. Which you know that's the fake sun because at this time where I'm in the city of Fontana, the state is keeping its fake sun in the window of the bus. And doing so and engaging in trying to steal my property today because they want to, in any way that it can, try to avoid being documented and prosecuted. That's obstruction of justice, 7DGR522. And this is clearly not the sun where this entity is engaging in the creation of such light activity. You're seeing what is the demonic pattern while they're stalking. 8KAF734. 7NLB309. 8DGU849. Monitoring with Union Pacific, monitoring with City of Ontario, who's creating this light activity at the top of Plum, 7MZP329, and stalking in the path while they get in the car. Starting it is light activity, closing the door is audible activity. There are demons that do so with knowledge as I move. 8DJS143, directed light on across a vehicle beside it as they're driving by. License 93401S2. Ontario Town Square Townhomes engaging in federal stalking. 4MCS072, and you also know that because the fake sun is over the Ontario Town Square Townhomes. It's a venue. 6TYZ318. And this is City of Ontario creating light activity at Metro 102, where Ontario Town Square Townhomes is relevant in relevant position. 6TYZ318. Alrighty, the same City of Ontario demonstrating an ongoing concern with me this morning. This is exactly what this is under the fake sun at 10:29 a.m. All right, that is documentation of the Ontario Town Square Townhomes. This is where they are creating activity. This is where directed light is also occurring while 8DGU849 crosses path, 7RKA139 under that which is not the sun. Let me be clear, Ontario, City of Ontario on Emporia, engaging in the same conduct while the fake sun was directly over my head there. Okay, so this is City of Ontario following from place to place, stalking with light. This is terrorism under that which is not the sun at 10:29 a.m. Putting water on the sidewalk is no form. It's called stalking in the path. Engaging in that demonic system. These are psychopaths who are monitoring, okay? And I'm showing you what is their presence in that demonic environment, which is acting in concert with the government. 8XPK026, and this is how the municipality, this is how such utility workers, this is how the people engage in that P.O.C. All right? Having tools, pulling up a sewer, putting up a sign, it's no form. You're under the fake sun. You are engaging in demonic conduct of surrounding the perimeter with light, and doing so in what is directed light, and doing so under what is not the sun. That's clearly not the sun over the Ontario Town Square Townhomes, where I'm showing you what's the fake sun over the Fontana Lewis Library, while I'm showing you stalkers sitting in their car and the fake sun directly over their car as I'm in the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. That's what they're doing right now. That is City of Ontario license 1515409. That's a psychopath, okay? The psychopath that engaged in theft of property. 4YAG816. FedEx is monitoring in relevant position, directed light on the ground while that psychopath that's focused on me, 4YAG816, crosses path just like you saw with UPS. Directed light, just reaching out while you're driving by. It's demonic, and that's a demon-possessed stalker that's focused on me. It's 10:31 a.m. STTELRS, stalker. License plate and thief. 8KVJ162. 8GUC 601, 8HTX 351, 6WBF 676, 1563317. Let me get this old biddy. She's around the corner from death. It's sad. She's going straight to hell. 424 DB, handicap, and she's monitoring. Serving Satan. This is no criminal monitoring, ordinary criminal monitoring. This is demonic. 1563317. And that's why I'm letting you know about her condition. And she's old as dirt. And that's exactly where she's headed. 6EJH337, 7VXU590, 7XXE789, 7XEP113, 6LKH835, 7HCX720, 7UVK662, 29462S2, 8GGY834, 39114S1, 1602154, 6LYW583, I think I read that. That's City of Ontario. And the state's fake sun over here, over the City Hall, where I show you as I walk every day. And this is how you know what the state was doing yesterday while I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library, while I'm en route on the Omnitrans, all right? License 47623E3. All right, and that demon-possessed stalker was hiding behind the back of the truck. As soon as I get on my camera, that demon-possessed stalker comes into sight. And I'm showing you what is a picture of the fake sun over that van. Remember the time, it's 10:33 a.m. This is the City Hall, 47623E3, a demon-possessed stalker monitoring an American citizen, doing so at safe facilitating venue, the Ontario City Hall. 8JLD112 56088M2. And also, while I take a picture of what is the fake sun directly over that van, the state is flying over, right over under the fake sun. 5ZCS426. All right, and the state engages in that as though you're looking at that image of the fake sun. The state engages in creating shadow all over the ground. Okay, 8JJX 000, 7X88210. That's called light activity, and that is also what is called impossible light activity. That is clearly, that's not the sun, and you have also what would burn up as that plane as it's flying. I've captured the state flying directly over its fake sun. All right, I've caught the state flying directly underneath. It's right there by that fake sun that's in the sky. And if that was actually the sun, that plane would burn up. You're talking about just ridiculous. They're demons, and they're in a cartoon environment. And this is fear of that the demon-possessed maintain while they're engaging in all manner of trying to fight that which they're not going to be able to fight. I'm going to prosecute them, and then I'm going to create policy, because you're understanding and witnessing what is the unlawful threat posed by a government, while it is maintaining knowledge that you are reporting it. And so this is speaking to what the targeted individual is going to be armed with regard to federal law, because you're dealing with what is an unstable psychopath that is the government itself. Engaging in this system is, first of all, revealing what is demonic activity. So this is an entity that is unstable. All right, this is a people that is unstable. All right, and this is speaking to the conduct, the criminal activity, the obstruction of justice that is relevant with regard to every method employed by such an entity while it is engaging in federal stalking and trying to conceal that fact. That's what obstruction of justice is about. And I'll show you the fake sun, 10:35 a.m. And this is what is priceless, because you're talking about documentation of what I've already shown what the state was doing with its fake sun at this venue. All right, at this venue and around this venue. All right, you have what is my going to the county building yesterday at 1627 West Hall, and then going to Fontana. And the entity was very, very mad about that. That's why you got Omnitrans skipping over me at the bus stop while they're monitoring me. You have what is the ongoing documentation of what the state is doing with its light. It's keeping its fake sun over 280 North Lemon Apartments while I'm at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, keeping that fake sun for the duration of the day. In direct conflict with that, for example, all I have to do is go to Ontario Village, and the state's fake sun is over that venue. Directed light is on the ceiling inside of that grocery store, revealing what are the demon-possessed who surround. All of them are monitoring. You have what is, again, in direct conflict with that, though, you're talking about it's over the ceiling of the Fontana Lewis Library, but it's at the same time having documented remaining. This is how you're able to get OPD under the fake sun at the turn circle at 3 o'clock. All right, this is how you're able to get what is filling the venue with directed light inside of the 280 North Lemon Apartments, where the fake sun is over in the morning. And that was documentation of the state aiming directed light in the evening after 4 p.m., keeping directed light in the inside of the entrance, filling the depths of the Ontario. Absolutely impossible light. Never naturally occurring. Never, ever. Okay, a substantial amount of it while it is remaining over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library. Documentation that already existed. Okay, this is why you have theft of property. All right, because this is revealing exactly what they're engaging in, and it is revealing their condition. They're psychopaths that are monitoring your documentation. Psychopaths that are then you're showing what is the mask that they no longer have. You're showing what is a fear of the demon possessed who are engaging in this criminal system that's in operation in California that's supposed to be maintained as some sort of secret. It ain't a secret no more. That's clearly not a sin that you're walking under while you are engaging and acting like it's everyday normal life. It's not, and they're psychopaths. All right, that's why you have theft of property. That is informing policy. Okay, so this demon that is stalking with this one walking by keeps her phone aimed on me while she's holding Starbucks. Monitoring with this demon with license plate 8RKY750. They're monitoring together. Okay, walking by with her phone aimed on me while she's crossing path, engaging. You hear cheerful conversation. It's audible activity. The fake sun is over 280 North Lemon Apartments. Impossible to coexist with being over Fontana Lewis Library. Over the street sign of Arrow and Sierra. That's what I showed you. Over the Fontana Metrolink train station. This is where it is yesterday, and this is where it is today. That's not the same sky space. You're not going to see that from. I can't see the sky space of Fontana over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. I am standing at the entrance. I'm facing what is south to look at the 280 North Lemon Apartments where the fake sun is. That's where I'm aiming my camera. Where I am standing in the city of Fontana, you cannot see the roof of the 280 North Lemon Apartments. This object is a low hovering light source. That is not the sun. And you have what is engaging in obstruction of justice while this demon possessed entity, psychopaths that are surrounding around in that environment, psychopaths listening to your every syllable that you're uttering, engaging in what is the revealing of ongoing determination and a demonic obsession with stalking you, one who is not demon possessed, and is revealing that condition. It is revealed by virtue of your presence in that environment, by virtue of your engagement in the criminal elements, which you are necessarily in relevant position. Your presence in the environment, period, is speaking to what is demon possession. It's a demonic system. I have given nothing but a formula for what is the prosecution of federal stalking, because they're monitoring with communication devices while they're stalking and maintaining presence in what is an entirely demented environment. That light activity continues inside of the Ontario Open Family Community Library. All right. That environment, that stalking presence, that determination, that focus on every syllable, every movement continues inside of the library, whatever venue I'm inside of, including inside of the private space. All right. Were they engaged in trying to steal somebody's property? Who's going to prosecute them for it? Showing you what is knowledge of the documentation. As I've already shown, this is ongoing additional documentation showing what is knowledge of the documentation, what is an ongoing act to try to obstruct justice, to engage in ongoing terrorism and abuse of that target individual. That is reporting you, that is prosecuting, that is documenting you, exposing you. And I'll expose for that as well. That is documentation of that entity. It's 10:39 a.m. and the state's fake sun is remaining over directed light under the entrance. Want to show you what is the face of a demon who's doing the exact same thing that the other one was doing with Starbucks cups under the fake sun. That demon is patrolling back and forth, acting with the demons that are crossing path in vehicles. They're monitoring together. I want you to see Satan up close and personal, okay? It's a demon-possessed stalker. Doing so under that deliberately maintained environment. That's called crossing a path, operation of a communication device, ongoing knowledge of my documentation as well. It is 10:40 a.m. and that is P.O.C. All right, capturing what is maintenance of state presence, all right, in relevant position, and what is directed light, and monitoring with communication devices. This is the demonic activity inside of the venue, monitoring with communication devices, engaging in stalking, and then trying to obstruct the ability to publish that documentation after having stolen your property, that it is hostile because of the fact that you are documenting them. This is the entity stalking inside of the venue, and that's the images that I'm taking of. That's the entity that I am capturing while they are in directed light, and they are all demons stalking with activity, monitoring together, okay? Maintaining presence on the path, that's all they're doing inside of the venue. It's 10:50 a.m. All right, capturing images of what is stalking in the path by sitting on the at the partitions adjacent to me, getting up and getting out of their seat to engage in the demonic behavioral pattern of stalking with activity while I am changing pages, going to different pages, entering and exiting, meaning signing in and signing out of my YouTube page, for example. This is stalking with activity. They are in directed light. You're looking at the ongoing presence of that light activity, and they are under what is the fake sun. This is the entirety of the environment, and these are demons engaging in that demonic behavioral pattern as one. All right, and so inside of the venue, you're talking about doing so with the employees.
entities while they are together monitoring on communication devices. And this is the thief, the sex offender, the psychopath that is stalking and monitoring with communication devices with ongoing knowledge of what you're doing moment by moment, not only physically but on the internet. And this is while they are maintaining presence on surveillance cameras. Everything that they are doing at the second that they are doing it is pursuant to ongoing corporate knowledge of what I'm doing on the internet. And that is the federal stalking conduct by the demon possessed, all right? Together maintaining what is audible activity, creating loud crashing sounds while you're stalking in the path, sitting next to me, patrolling back and forth. That's literally the entity pacing around. And you have what the state is doing, amplifying plane engines inside of the library, and they are sitting in what is nothing other than directed light, okay? It is 11:51 a.m., and that's documentation of what is federal stalking. By the way, as they are present inside of the venue, they are identifying themselves not only by virtue of presence on the surveillance cameras as they're using the library's resources. That is another means of documentation. This is obvious, and understand the entity that's a psychopath is also monitoring the documentation. But that is the way it is, because as I use my library card, it's a means of identifying me, and it's the same thing with these demon-possessed stalkers who are inside using the coin machine, using the printer, using the computers, checking out books and DVDs, and using study rooms, coming in here engaging in what's supposed to be construction while they're stalking with noise. This is all a means of identifying the people of the state, in addition to our many other means, but this is common sense, and I'm just capturing what is demonic activity as they are surrounding with that, monitoring on a communication device and sitting in close presence in doing so. And that's documentation of what is terrorism as I'm capturing their images. It's a demon-possessed stalker sitting in directed light and engaging in movement, moment by moment, creation of noise, and or maintaining presence while noise is being created by the demons that are surrounding as they are monitoring together. It's 11:52 a.m. Pay attention. That's the demon on computer number 16. I'm showing you stalking with activity. She's getting up. She's in directed light and does so as I start recording. The demons that I'm showing you on my left side, sitting at computers number 13 and number 12, they're standing in directed light. So while you see him standing over that other third party on computer desktop number 12, he's pacing back and forth, and he's got double shadows while he's doing so. That's called crossing path, and repeatedly doing so while a demon knows what you're doing on the internet, knows what I'm doing on my phone. I'm showing you what is the demon that is crossing path with that luggage carrier. He engages in walking on the hard floor. And again, you're filling the venue with directed light because the ongoing demonic formula is the creation of noise in that environment while demons are maintaining presence all around to keep you surrounded in that environment. All right, so he's dragging his luggage carrier on the hard floor with simultaneity to my activity on my website as I create what is my podcast onto my WordPress.com website, the patternofconduct.wordpress.com. He's monitoring, engaging in an effort to engage in obstruction of justice. This is monitoring conduct on the venue of the internet. The same entity that is stealing property, okay, is inside of the venue monitoring and engaging in that ongoing obsessive, stalking, threatening, terrorizing conduct representing the government, okay? And this is the demonic concerted, it's an ongoing teamwork of demons that are surrounding, engaging in this ongoing maintenance of the environment all around. Noise coming from all around, pacing back and forth in directed light while they are an entirely demented environment. These are entirely demented actors corporately acting together, okay? And doing so, stalking in a library, doing whatever the entity has to do. Understand if I was, for example, in Starbucks, that's where they're present in direct light under the fake sun, contributing to that environment, engaging in the same demonic conduct in a different setting. And what would they all be doing? Getting coffee, all right? All they're doing is stalking in a library, because this is where I'm at, in the same environment, engaging in the same demonic behavioral pattern. And this is the entity that is stalking at the Ontario Open Family Community Library. It's 12:12 p.m. That is P.O.C, and that's the significance of the images that I'm capturing. They're demons engaging in terrorizing on behalf of, terrorism engaging in what is federal stalking while they're monitoring corporately on communication devices. All right, and you were looking at and understanding what is the demented environment that they're in. There's no form for that, meaning it is bare bones criminal activity by what is a demon-possessed stalker in that environment. You're a stalker, and you are monitoring on communication devices in concert with that entity. And that's the significance of what I'm showing you step by step of how they're engaging in the P.O.C, the ongoing creation of noise while they're maintaining presence in the path, showing their psychopaths that are pacing back and forth in what is having double and triple shadows. All right, this is the entity that stole property this morning because they're scared, and I'm going to prosecute them. It's 12:13 p.m. P.O.C. All right, I'm capturing what is the light activity that they are standing in, they mean being the demon-possessed. So they are outwardly looking as though they're focused on one thing in the demented environment, showing you the psychopath that is stalking on behalf of the public entity. All of them are under what is also the fake sun. all right, that is here in Ontario and not over the Fontana Lewis Library like I showed you clearly in video and as I have already established in documentation. The sky space over the Fontana Lewis Library is not the sky space over the entrance of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, as I'm facing what is south outside of that entrance, and the state is hovering over the 280 North Limit Apartments with that which is not the sun. All right, but you're looking at what is hovering over 280 North Limit Apartments, hovering over the Fontana Lewis Library. The actual sun would burn up those venues, by the way, if that was actually the sun. This light source that is remaining over all of these demons are present in that environment, and you're literally looking at what is the shadows of the furniture, the shadows while he is moving around and he is engaging in movement. This is activity creation, okay? Getting up to ask a question, getting up to talk to somebody, getting up and sneaking behind me. That's what that demon sitting on the computer next to me, that female, she comes behind me while I'm capturing the demon who is getting up and stalking with activity, moving around in that engineer light. And this is why she's kneeling down behind, and this is a demon that also knows she's being documented, so she gets up and immediately moves away from the computer, and I'm capturing her walking away. This is activity creation while these demons are standing in directed light. That's what those males are doing, all right? And you're looking at what is the demented light activity, speaking to the demented actor. It's speaking to what is nothing less than stalking, okay? And doing so in concert as a group. This is a psychopath. This is demonic activity. And they're monitoring with communication devices and monitoring everything that I'm doing on the internet as I go to a different web page. This is when this demon over here gets up. This fool has two shadows, okay? And they are moving, the shadows are moving around as he is moving, pacing, moving his body. All of this is activity creation while they're in directed light. All you got to do is get up and walk around, this is why the demons of the library, they're repeatedly slamming doors. It's in engineered light. They're stalking with activity, and all of it is also amplified. And these are nothing but demons that surround, engaging in ceaseless activity creation while they are corporately monitoring with communication devices, engaging in that stalking conduct, coming up behind me while I'm taking a picture of her demonic partner to my left. She's sneaking behind me to my right, kneeling down, walking off as I turn to capture what is her presence, that she walks off and then she comes back and she's already logged off of the computer. But anyway, it's 12:22 p.m. This is P.O.C. inside of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. All right, what I'm documenting in images, which you'll see, it's currently 2:48 p.m., so I'm capturing images at 2:41 at 2:20, all right, 2:41, and I'm capturing a series of images that I'm uploading right now, which the entity is currently monitoring, basically slowing down internet, trying to interrupt, trying to obstruct justice. They are demons that are pacing around in directed light, okay? As they are walking on the floor, and understand this is carpet, and this is the second level, this is inside of the venue, and they're inside of what is a demented environment. This is why you have, if you pay attention, for example, when I'm on the computer and I'm showing you what is the two males on my left side, and you're looking at what is a very awkward shape of what's supposed to be a shadow. That's because of the directed light that he's standing in. This is how you have what is the top of a chair, whereas ordinary light would not, the top of the chair is not going to appear flat on the ground, okay? Light coming, normal light, a downward trajectory, it's actually not going to create a shadow because that is something that is not spread across, if you will. It's standing straight up. It's standing upright, pushed inside of the desk, and the top of the chair is not creating a shadow that is spread onto the ground. The design of the chair is on the ground. That is that mirror-like aspect. The top of the chair, you can just flip it and it's appearing as a shadow on the top, on the ground, okay? That's impossible light activity. This is directed light. You're looking at what are the chairs. The shadows of the chairs are going both in front of the chair and behind the chair, underneath the desk tops. His shadow is very weird because he's in this weird light activity. It's called directed light. And as he's walking by, shadows are appearing. He's got a darker shadow. I've shown this. I've got one shadow that is very, very dark and another mirroring shadow, okay? This is, for example, I've referred to as stuttered light, multiple shadows. And I've also had what are literally my shadow, different, my full body, like 5 of my shadows of my one person in front of me. For example, when I was documenting the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department who were group stalking at the Ontario Museum, and I literally had an audience, okay? And I'm putting that in a jovial manner, but that is speaking to what is a demonic actor in my presence. That is a demonic environment. It is that which is intended to terrorize while the demon-possessed are engaging in federal stalking. That demonic environment is present inside of the venue. And this is documentation of not only presence, this is documentation of what is demonic activity. This is terrorism as I am capturing it capturing it visually. These actors are engaging in demonic activity, aware of what I'm doing on my phone, those over and under the age of 18. Okay, you have what is, and that's relevant with regard to the government's engagement in criminal activity, Title 18, with those who are underage. This is also speaking to what is demon possession that has nothing to do with your age, and the creation of legislation when you are dealing with what is demon possession, terrorism, criminal conduct, and those who are both over and under the age of majority. How you're going to legislate that, how you're going to address that, and understand that. Okay, so what they are doing is literally pacing around, maintaining presence. All they're doing is stalking the path. Okay. This is all you're doing under the fake sun, which is remaining over at this venue in conflict with what I documented 24 hours ago, where it's remaining at the Fontana Lewis Library. Okay. And so with regard to movement in this light, this is their shadows that appear, that their shadows move. And I don't mean a shadow that is moving as you move, for example, moving behind you. Okay. Their shadows, first of all, are in front. Okay, this is directed light. This is how you get what is a shadow of a chair that is sitting upright, pushed into a desk. The shadow of that chair appearing behind it. It's the same conic, the shadows in front. This is directed light. This is a demented environment. And you've got what is walking around the table. That's pacing. Okay, and they're doing it with simultaneity to what they know I'm doing as I'm doing it on my phone. This is a demon. Okay, they are walking back and forth, meaning pacing, walking to the water fountain, walking back to the table, walking to the trash can, walking back to the table, coming downstairs, which is crossing path, and then walking past me to get to a desk in crossing path in order to do so while you're looking at what is the light activity that they are in while doing so. This is a demon that's stalking with activity, maintaining presence as they are corporately engaging in an ongoing activity creation inside of the venue. This is all that the demon possessed are doing, all of them. The conversation that you are listening to in a foreign language is audible activity creation while they are stalking in the path on behalf of that entity. By the way, demon possession it goes across all ethnicities. It has nothing to do with that. So this is what you need to remove from your mind. I'm revealing what is demonic activity, and the demon possessed are engaging in criminal conduct. I'm breaking this criminal activity down, what they're doing, and it is entirely focused on me. So it's 2:53 p.m. And ongoing P.O.C. And by the way, what you're remembering is the psychopath, the sex offender, and the stalker engaging in theft of property while continuing the P.O.C. Okay, and this is what I've been showing since 2019. By the way, when they stole my vehicle, that was the people of the state, and that was the public entity acting directly, documented in substantial video documentation, showing what was the state engaging in that ongoing pattern of conduct that you saw last night, stalking by helicopter from place to place. The state followed me on that day that they stole my property from place to place, this venue back to the location where my vehicle was stolen. And it's the same exact P.O.C., the same demon possession, the same public entity engaging in this criminal pattern of conduct upon theft of my property. This is that which is precipitating. It is filling every aspect of the target individual's life, okay? And so this is showing what is that psychopath and prosecuting it for what is a demented group. Terrorists, they are terrorists, and that is applying to those who are under 18. They are practicing demonic activity and representing the government. Your age is not going to be any prohibition to what is being understood as what you are doing, period. Okay, with regard to understanding demonic activity and with regard to what is criminal activity with the government on behalf of the government, with or without your guardian who is over the age of 18, and that is a whole other issue with prosecution, which is criminal facilitation of that sexually violent, terrorizing, demented group activity where they are monitoring with communication devices inherent to what is literally just practicing demonic activity in the state of California. It is currently 2:54 p.m. P.O.C. All right, it is 4:52 p.m. and the entity that is engaged in ongoing surveillance and federal stalking, corporate invasion of privacy. This is maintaining real-time awareness of what is going on inside of the private space. And this is documentation of that entity, the demon-possessed, the creepy stalker, the molester, and the thief entering inside of the private space, okay? With ongoing knowledge of the documentation as well. That's the exceedingly violent sex offender that is surrounding with directed light outside of the bathroom, entering inside of the private space to engage in that sexual violence on behalf of and in concert with that state. That's exactly what I documented in the image. You'll see what is stalking in the private space, the bathroom, representing what is a demon-possessed stalker stalking in a bathroom stall. It's 4:53 p.m. at Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. This is the sex offender engaging in the P.O.C., and everything that is ongoing is activity creation serving that purpose as well. Remember, the sex offender is anticipating documentation, and it goes to such lengths even to engage in monitoring conduct inside of that private space. All right, this is nonetheless the entirety of that entity that is a thief, stealing property, engaging in ongoing sexual molestation, and stalking in a bathroom. Okay, it's 4:53 p.m. and that is P.O.C. And you're going to remember what is directed light. Directed light is outside. They are all inside, sitting in front of the bathroom door, sitting all around, maintaining presence, stalking as demons inside of the private space, all coded in directed light, and then entering inside of the bathroom. Okay, it's 4:54 p.m. That is called impossible audible activity that the state is stalking with while it is engaged in surveillance while I'm in the bathroom. So again, this is documentation of that demon-possessed entity sitting in one that is under the age of 18, albeit demon-possessed, okay, engaging in sexually violent conduct on behalf of that entity that is stalking around in relevant position in directed light. And again, maintaining real-time knowledge, that is the creation of audible activity in that environment with real-time knowledge of what I'm doing. Right, that which you cannot hear, something reminiscent of the sound of an elevator. This is what Upland Public Library engaged in. All right, and that sound that you just heard is occurring as I press the phone, the screen on my phone. All right, this is intentional conduct. This is speaking to what is the sex offender that is over and under the age of 18. The demon-possessed stalker that is over and under the age of 18. The demon-possessed stalker that is acting on behalf of a government. And let me be clear, the mother that's stalking and monitoring and terrorizing and stealing with her minor children is intentionally doing so. This is Satan that is in operation through a government and through the people. All right, and that was intentional conduct via one under the age of 18, which has nothing to do with demon possession, okay, first of all. Second of all, this is intentional conduct while that entity is monitoring documentation. And third of all, that is going to the prosecution of those who are under the age of 18 who know very well what they are doing with regard to the operation of communication device and of the age and position to know full well what they are engaging in. Those who are documented engaging in pacing in the directed light with that minion who is stalking in the path, creating activity. That's what that minion is for, activity creation, while they're all sitting around corporately monitoring and engaging in surveillance in the bathroom. Aware of my documentation as well. This is the violent sex offender sending in an underage minion to create activity in the environment. Okay, that's P.O.C. That's going to the prosecution. This is speaking to the harm that, for example, the Ontario police wage toward what is society while they're engaging in criminal conduct that is sexually violent and terrorizing in concert with the people. All right, that the government itself is engaging in concert with the people. All right, that the people are engaging in using what are their children. They're nothing but little pawns. They create activity with them. They're stalking with them, engaging in stalking and terrorizing me with a baby in the backseat. That's what I documented. Okay, steps out. I'm that important. Under the fake sun and in directed light, that's all she was doing. And that's all I have systematically documented. Those of such statuses showing and demonstrating their unfit status in that position while they are providing such documentation. This is 4:57 p.m. at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. That is sexual violence. And then you're listening to what is ongoing activity creation while that sex offender is engaged in surveillance already. Okay? Sending in, that's deliberate malicious conduct by the demon possessed. That's P.O.C. All right, I want to document a minion who is stalking and doing so with a minor. She is engaging in what is molestation with a child, right? The venue is filled with directed light. She's engaging in terrorism with a child. The state is stalking via helicopter and aircraft. And the name of that minion is on that computer desktop while she's engaging in harassment and stalking me in concert with the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. That minion's name is Jay Glasby. It's an African-American female. At what is the computer desktop that I was sitting at. And it is a means of activity creation and crossing a path. And also while they are engaged in trying to block me from using the computers more than once in a day, which is it's an artificial restriction that they're created. It is obstruction of justice. And while they are monitoring, by the way, and you have what is a minion engaging in P.O.C. and she's also on the surveillance cameras with clown slippers on, sitting at the computer where I was sitting at. It's a means of activity creation, and that is going toward the venue that is they're all monitoring together, and they're all demons. So when I document what is harassment by that particular demon, who then gets up from the computer that she asked me that she wants to sit at, and she runs to the bathroom as I get up to walk. She's stalking, all right, and does so with a kid. She's on camera as well. It's 7:10 p.m. Again, that minion's name is Jay Glasby. Glasby. P.O.C. Let me document these minions out here stalking in the path at the library. 8 CBC 354. And while they're stalking with light, that's state sounding plane activity. Okay, the vehicle has shadows on the driver and the passenger side, and this is a demon that is using light, using their vehicle in engineered light. Okay, I showed you what is the directed light in front of this entrance where I have triple shadows. I showed you the fake moon over the entrance. This is a demon stalking in the path at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, monitoring what I'm doing on my phone because I am on the internet. This is surrounding all the pathways. This is what they're doing in front of the entrance. And this is a psychopath that's listening, the same psychopath that stole property this morning. Again, that's license 8 CBC 354, stalking with the government at Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, harassing with the government. That minion is monitoring with 8 CBC 354 Glaspie, monitoring with them. They're one entity, okay? P.O.C. 7:11 p.m. 6 GHP 753 molesting, okay? It's 7:13 p.m. Molesting, license plate. Oh, no license plate. You think that demon doesn't know they're being documented? P.O.C. Molesting with 6 GHP 753. P.O.C. All right, and the sex offender driving what is license plate 6 GHP 753, loitering in relevant position, driven by African American male. All right, with the African American passenger as well. P.O.C. It's 7:14 p.m. 7 GBF 054. Molestation by 7 CWU 027. 8 FGF 006. Molesting, all of them molesting. 8 JBK 651. 8 NCP 618. 6 NEU 883. 8 POV 730. That's Walmart creating audible activity, creating light activity with a flashing light, and molestation by 8 POV 730. All right? 7 MUW 103, molestation. Stalking, they're just a line of demons entering the parking lot of Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue. License plate. Monitoring with the kid, molesting with the child, BT53H42. Stalking, terrorizing with the kid in the front seat. Okay? P.O.C. This is Walmart, and that was Walmart creating activity and flashing light. Using their form, which is their job, as facilitation. That's a demon engaging in the same exact pattern of conduct. 6HBU 418. And but by the way, Walmart stole my vehicle, stole my property. 6RQU 456, I believe. Can't see that. Walmart is engaged in documented engaging in that P.O.C. This is how that's going. Okay, acting with the government, stealing property, trying to obstruct justice. P.O.C. It's 7:28 p.m. All right, it's 8:07 p.m. I'm capturing what is relevant positioning in the store, monitoring with communication devices in concert with Walmart, the employees themselves who are surrounding with activity. It is currently, again, it's 8:07 p.m. 8 WAP 529 crossing path, 5 YUS 799 molesting, 5 EWP 290 molesting, 7 VAP 105 molesting. In concert with Walmart, okay? And what they are doing, understand, you're talking about the ongoing environment, the ongoing vicarious presence. These are cockroaches. They're demon possessed. They're just swirling around in the parking lot, maintaining light and relevant positioning, okay? It's P.O.C. And this is exiting what is Walmart at 8:11 p.m. And what I captured images of, first of all, you're going to pay attention to what is the studying of their communication devices. They are in relevant position. All elements are present. Walmart is monitoring, and Walmart is monitoring with the patrons. All of them are demon possessed. This is the same exact pattern of conduct. Demon possession at your neighborhood Walmart. Okay, it is indiscriminate. This is directed light in the parking lot. They are monitoring, and I'm capturing what are the demon possessed stalking they're stalking in the store everywhere that I'm moving. They're maintaining presence together. And as I'm taking their pictures, what you're looking at them is they're monitoring, and so they keep looking at their phone because I'm taking pictures of them. All right, this is P.O.C. It's 8:12 p.m. 33466E3 molesting. It's 8:23 p.m. 8 WFL388. All right, providing light as we're pulling into the parking place. This is stalking with light, and cooperative monitoring conduct is what you're witnessing in the images. It's 8:25 p.m. Target is in the parking lot in relevant position, monitoring as well. P.O.C. All right, at 8:30 p.m., taking an image of what is the lights above me where I'm at the baggage area at aisle E50. Target creating light activity while I'm at that section of the aisle, and a group stalker is also standing in the aisle monitoring, flickering of the lights right there above. Okay, that's P.O.C, and that is also terrorism. All right, that's the demonic stalking with light conduct, this stalking with your hazard lights, flashing lights on buildings, on signage. All right, I'm showing you what they're doing during the day, the city of Ontario, and what are you looking at? The fake sun that's directly over, stalking with the environment. That's what they're doing inside, and Target engaging in that act of terrorism while I am right here at that aisle E50. I want to document with regard to the entity that stole property today. When you're going to what is a third-party facilitating venue and they're directly aware of, and the entirety of the entity is monitoring. The entirety of the entity engaged in theft today knows where I'm going to buy what it is that was stolen, all right? Not having it in stock. Like, it's the same thing with regard to being in a grocery store, items where something that you ordinarily buy suddenly it doesn't have it in. This is how they engage in harassment, everything that they very well may not want you to have anymore, having it not available. I'm just speaking to what is targeted while the entity is engaging in monitoring and engaging in what is theft, because I am publishing documentation that's going to be a part of their prosecution, speaking to what is the absence of such items inside of their store, which is not a coincidence. That's my only point. All right, you're talking about a closed universe where the entity is monitoring and maintaining ongoing corporate knowledge, maintaining ongoing corporate stalking presence, okay, and doing so while they're all monitoring together. And so when you're going to a third-party facilitating venue, looking for what is supposed to be another carrier that I had, which was stolen, and the fact that it's not at a third-party facilitating venue such as Walmart, the fact that it's not at a third-party facilitating venue, Target, whereas my stuff never should have been stolen in the first place. This entity that's a psychopath and a sex offender and a stalker stole it, and I'm just speaking to and documenting what is the absence of of its existence inside of what are venues, okay, and that's not a coincidence. And just this is speaking to what is that closed universe where the entity is monitoring, where the government is monitoring you, okay? There are no coincidences. There's no happenstances. All of this is by design, all right? And it is absolutely a demonic method of targeting in every way. And so it is currently 8:33 p.m. and this is P.O.C. All right, you have what is patrolling. It's the same exact template. You're applying it inside of what is a venue that happens to be called Target, okay? The demon-possessed filling inside of a venue, maintaining presence, the vicarious presence of the entity, the public entity that's monitoring, in an ongoing environment, all right? And you're talking about what is using whatever they have at their disposal for activity creation and engineered light. And this is documentation of what is Target that is monitoring in concert with its patrons, all of them demon-possessed third parties. In an entirely demonic environment. It is currently 8:55 p.m. 8 TSD 001 5X U.S.C 953. Stalking in the parking lot with light. Stalking with 8RWH 343. They're maintaining light around the car that I'm getting inside of. Puts the reverse lights on as I'm walking by. A demon stalking with light. Okay, and this is a demon stalking with the turn circle. They're monitoring together around the car, okay? Headlights on as I approach the vehicle. 6RGA 969. I'm laughing because that demon sped off so fast she barely started her car. They know I'm documenting them. They're demons, okay? And the fake moon is over me at the Target. This is P.O.C. 7MLR202 8FIK435, and this one that's molesting because they're monitoring, knowing that I started using my phone. This is a stalker that's just patrolling in the Walmart parking lot. 7NLR202. 7MRU497. 7DCN. 7DCN. Hold on, let me get the rest of them. This is another one that's creeping, just maintaining presence in the parking lot. 7DCN235, 7TIZ510, and this one creeping, sitting in the dark in the parking lot, 6XZD501. Okay, they're all molesting together. This is the Walmart that is at Foothill and in the city of Upland. All right, I've documented this venue before, 4RZR417.
Here, do you want to try this one?
It is currently 9:21 p.m. 6XZD501 leaves from loitering in relevant position and then molests. All right, it is 9:26 p.m. Alrighty. License 7GHJ337.
8CTZ937. Just stalking in the parking lot, maintaining presence. DLZNHLZ 7MBP058. 8CSG829. Just demons at your neighborhood Walmart. Monitoring. All of the monitoring with communication devices. This is the venue of Walmart. Okay? This is P.O.C. Cockroaches. They're just driving around in the parking lot. This is no normal conduct. You remember the P.O.C. and they're just crawling around in directed light using their vehicles as light activity. Yeah. License. Okay. License 7KIB 850 7YBE 092 8MGC 866. You heard that horn honk? This demon 8DHU 871 has been loitering in relevant position, just sitting in his car. And as I go and get that license plate, he hops out, goes to make a purchase to document himself further. Okay, he's in directed light, walking in the parking lot, stalking with activity. License plate 8MGC 866 parks in front. All right, that's creation of light activity as well. 7YBE 092. Two shadows of the vehicle. They're all under directed light. This is the demon possessed at the Walmart. Okay,
yeah,
it's P.O.C.
Only the short ones. They're not the.
A rag for what? 7YBE092, an operation of a communication device, and my shadow's on my left and my right side. His shadow is in front of him and to the side of him. This is a demon, all right? Monitoring with a communication device right in front of me, a psychopath, a demon-possessed stalker. Listening to me, because I'm going to play this and I'm going to prosecute you with it. Monitoring at Walmart, with Walmart, P.O.C. It's 9:31 p.m. 8RCV286. 7BTJ448. All right, stalking, monitoring, molesting, terrorizing with the state. That meets with a helicopter upon my exit of 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine at 10:49 p.m. And Lyft is stalking at the corner at 714 North Vine, where I used to formerly park my car. And I capture day in and day out the state stalking by helicopter. All right, and this is that ongoing pattern of conduct. This is how I'm able to capture the state stalking by a helicopter at the Ontario Museum of History and Art. Over the vehicle that I'm inside of at 60 North Fern, over me while I'm at the Ontario Over Family Community Library, over me while I'm at the Fontana Metrolink train station, over me while I'm on the Omnitrans bus, over me while I'm in Los Angeles, at Los Angeles and Alameda, over me while I'm on the Metrolink train. All right, that same exact pattern of conduct underway. That same exact entity stole my property again today. This is documentation of that entity, that demon-possessed psychopath. That is a thief. It is a kidnapper. It is a sex offender. And it is a very heavy-duty stalker, engaging in what is terrorism. And that's a helicopter engaging in such an ambush upon my exit. And that was the people of the state using a Lyft vehicle, stalking with light at the perimeter, and that license plate crossing paths, stalking behind, molesting while the state is flying over by helicopter at the third-party facilitating venue of 7-Eleven, and these demons are listening to me document. Okay, this is going to prosecution in federal prison. All right, it is currently, by the way, again 10:50 p.m. P.O.C. 8DEA293 crossing path, stalking on this is G Street in Ontario. It is, again, 10:51 p.m. License plate 8DBE913. And this one is license plate 4MZP823. But I can't really see it that clearly. That looks like a very old Nissan Altima. All right, stalking, driving past on Fern. These are the same demon-possessed stalkers where the state is molesting with directed light inside of the car. Crossing path is license plate 7PWV122. It is 10:51 p.m. All right, molestings 4BAF251. Directed light that they're driving in. Directed light also across the properties. That is a venue. And they're molesting with light, stalking, okay? And then touching. That's on behalf of the entire entity that is also terrorizing by helicopters. All right, this is the psychopath stalker that is a violent sex offender, wants to violate and touch your body, but also wants to stalk you, but also wants to harass you and steal your property, and also wants to kidnap you and keep your mouth shut. That's the type of stalker you're dealing with, and that's the state of California. The government, and that is the people of the state of California. And they're going to be sliced apart, and you're going to prosecute for that ongoing criminal act. That is a violent sex offense. All right, that is another third party acting on behalf of the entity. That's a molestation of my body. It's 10:52 p.m.
7BTJ448, a demon-possessed stalker, all right, with ongoing knowledge of what I'm doing as I'm doing it, stalking with activity as that female that is a demon-possessed stalker and a sex offender. But her condition is one of demon possession. I want to be clear, she's engaging in demonic activity and stalking with activity, real-time knowledge of what I'm doing as she is driving by. That's stalking with conduct, that's a demon, all right? It is 10:54 p.m. 630 North Fern Avenue. This is demonic activity, Union Pacific, which you cannot ever hear while you're sitting in front of the property of 630 North Fern. That's how you know what that demon that was molesting my body is engaged in and what their condition is. It's one of demon possession, and that is contributing to a demonic environment. Absolutely impossible. Audible activity, which you cannot hear. You're not going to hear the train sounding a horn. You're not going to hear the train on any train tracks. That is the artificial activity that the state is amplifying in the environment in directed light, okay? That's the stalker. That's the demon-possessed stalker, okay? Pay attention, because we're going to play this tape back in court, and it is impossible audible activity. That is the term of art for that. That's going to be the prosecution of Amtrak and Union Pacific, commercial actors engaging in demonic activity, terrorizing an American citizen. That's P.O.C. It is 10:55 p.m. Alrighty? At 630 North Fern, P.O.C. It's 11:44 p.m. The state has been engaged in remaining since I captured the video. And the state flew over as I'm exiting 7-Eleven. That's helicopter activity, which the state has continuously engaged in while I uploaded those images to my Google Drive, the video to my Google Drive, state sounding sirens while I am then uploading that documentation. And this is the state circling over where I am seated at 630 North Fern. It is 11:44 p.m. That is the same entity that engaged in theft of property today. In the same way, engaged in theft of property on October 2nd, 2019, the same exact terrorism, by the way, stalking by helicopter, theft of property, molestation with directed light, and stalking with the people of the state. This entity engaged in stealing my property in order to engage in what is obstruction of justice. This is speaking to that necessary policy, that irrebuttable presumption of public corruption, and the absence of any legitimacy by that public entity upon what is establishing that pattern of conduct where you are prosecuting that entity for engaging in what is federal stalking. This is demonic conduct by a public entity, by the people of the state, demons who are psychopaths in positions of the government, the people of the state of that same condition, and this is what is called terrorism. And that is P.O.C. Capturing documentation of federal stalking while I'm at third-party facilitating venue Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue in Ontario. Capturing images of the people of the state, the demon-possessed, stalking in the path inside of the Walmart in Upland at 1540 West Foothill Boulevard in the city of Upland. Capturing federal stalking while I'm capturing what is the state stalking at Target in Montclair at 9052 Central Avenue in Montclair. Where the state's fake moon, as I also captured in that image, while they are monitoring me, and this is the ongoing environment, and that was the state's fake moon directly over my head while I'm at the vehicle in the parking lot in Montclair, and this is the state following with that same environment, stalking in a helicopter. This is terrorism by the demon-possessed who are monitoring with communication devices. It's 11:46 p.m., and this is P.O.C. And the only reason why you're not hearing helicopter activity is because the psychopath, sex offending, kidnapping, thief, is aware that I am documenting it. It has not gone anywhere, and this is prolonged terrorism while I've been uploading my documentation. This is P.O.C. Undoubtedly, it's 11:46.